This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9. A 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
When was the last time you refreshed your bedding? Sleep cooler with Avocado's naturally breathable, certified organic sheets. Choose from GOTS certified organic cotton, linen, or hemp. All made safe certified to the highest standards of non-toxic safety. Delivering the ultimate in luxury, sustainability, and style. And a deeper, more restorative sleep. Join Avocado's mission to be one of the world's most sustainable brands at avocadomattress.com.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a company in England called Tango. They recently surveyed Brits to find out what they would do for $10,000. And some of the options, well, they seem like a no-brainer. Go without your phone for a month. $10,000, absolutely. Take a bath in a tub full of baked beans, I'll do it for $50. Call your boss an idiot? Hell, if I got $10,000 every time I call my boss an idiot, I'd be a millionaire. But all of these things completely worth the money. Now, some of the other things that Brits would do for $10,000, lick a stranger's armpit.
Oh.
Wear your underwear on the outside of your clothes for a month.
Okay.
And confess a shameful secret on live TV. And look, money is a great motivator, and $10,000, that ain't too shabby to do something stupid. On the other hand, a different survey was conducted here in the United States and asked what we would be willing to do for $100. Okay, not $10,000, $100. And it's pretty sad. Here's a few examples of what people would be willing to do for $100. Punch your dad. Punt a squirrel. Give a priest a wedgie. Eat a toenail salad. And smell Harvey Weinstein's underwear. Ugh. And those aren't even the worst of it. However, it did inspire a whole lot of Would You Rather questions. And that's what we're doing today. It's our random Would You Rather question brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. Basically, you call us, we'll ask you a hypothetical question. And even though there is no right answer, we're going to tell you why you're wrong.
Be part of the big show, the random Would You Rather question. Call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9. A 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
A healthy life starts with great sleep. Wake refreshed with Avocado's GOTS certified organic green mattress, delivering breathable, back-loving support. Natural materials from Avocado's own sustainable wool and latex farms. Easy financing, a 1-year sleep trial, and deep, restorative slumbers. Organic sleep awaits at avocadomattress.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
When a cold has you down, it's the little comforts that lift you up. A warm blanket, a cup of tea, and a tissue that actually feels good on your skin. Infused with aloe, Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe provides a hint of cooling freshness to help your skin feel restored. So, whether your skin is feeling dry, chafed, or irritated, you're only one wipe away from helping it feel relieved. So, the next time you have a cold, get a hint of instant cooling relief with new Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Oh, so away we go. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season, episode number 4,331. What a large and a charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Exciting return of Who Sucks Less coming up at 4:30. Steve, I don't know how you do it. Bad people do stuff in the news. Somehow you find these stories.
I do.
And you bring us 3 every week.
Yeah, I look long and hard, man.
It is up to us to determine out of those 3 stories which one sucks the least. Is there a theme to this week's Who Sucks Less?
There's a definitive theme to this week's Who Sucks Less: amputees and prosthetics.
Okay. That can be good.
It's not.
It's not good.
No, none of these are good. It turns out your prosthetics can be used as a weapon, and we have 3 stories that show you how.
Against the people who actually use them? Or
It depends, Miles. Different people do different things.
Okay. Who Sucks Less is coming up for you at 4:30. Quick programming note. As far as the tournament going down on Monday, there is a foursome available. There's one left at KISW.com. So if you want to join us for a day on the golf course, if not, Daily Makes Morning Show, they're going to broadcast live starting at 6 on Monday morning. So you can go and party with them in the parking lot and not even be a part of the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go up there, drink some beers, hang out, man, get some breakfast, enjoy the morning, and then we tee off at 8. So it's a shotgun start. There is one foursome left. If you want to get in on the fun, KISW.com. You guys are in charge of the heckle hole.
That is correct. Ted gave me an idea yesterday. We're going to make sure that happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Have a little enjoy. I got to go out in the garage.
I don't golf much anymore, but I watch a lot of the golf content.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I've seen these back golf challenge, these heckle holes. I'm ready. And I just, heads up, if you're playing in the tournament, like Thrill and I are allowed to go as hard as we want.
Yeah, and
the
also
FCC will not be there.
Typically, when you're hitting a golf ball, especially off the tee box, it is etiquette in golf to remain as silent and quiet as possible.
Of course.
You don't even reach in and grab your club out of the bag for fear that it would make noise and disturb the person that's on the tee box there getting ready to hit the ball. That is not the case on Monday.
Hell no.
At the Miles Montgomery Golf Classic, presented by Pinky's Plumbing. You guys are going to give people hell the entire time.
No.
That they get on there from what you're wearing to your haircut.
Why would I do that?
Have you guys ever seen and Steve, you could definitely do this. Have you guys ever seen the guys that wait until their partner is in their backswing and then they rip the loudest fart they possibly can?
If it were today, brother, they would, you know what? I might actually give myself some ammo, as it were.
There are reels on this. The guys are just waiting. And as soon as the guy's in the backswing, they shank one off in the woods. But you guys are in charge of the heckle holes. So that'll be a good time. That foursome is on sale now at KISW.com.
I might have to stop by the hardware shop this weekend and grab some other stuff.
Okay, good. Yeah, I got to go find the accoutrements.
Right. Our friends.
What was that sound yesterday? Oh, at the Mariners game, right? So they're going to strike out, whatever. And I'm like, look, man, this is what I reasoned where that sound must have come from. I'm like, I'm guessing some kid had like a high school science fair project, and his goal was to create the most annoying sound on earth. That's what he came up with, and he got an A+.
Yeah, I mean, that air horn was massive in rap like 10 years ago.
God, it's annoying, man.
Yeah. Also, my buddy's son is a DJ. Maybe I'll get his little drum machine.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you could take the honey bucket little poop sponges they gave us.
Yeah.
Chuck those at people right in the middle of their backswing. Whatever you guys want to do. I mean, it's chaos. Seriously, you guys run that tee box. So that'll be the challenge for the golfers. Just trying to get up there, concentrate. hopefully get you guys out of their head.
No, there's no chance.
Swing the club.
We're going to be in your head the whole time, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
feel bad for those people that have to come to us near the end of it.
Well, yeah. Plenty of drinks will be available. Food will be available. The whole deal.
Point.
It's going to be a great afternoon there at the Bill Wright Golf Complex at Jefferson Park, and probably a more fun morning as well.
Somebody says, so Ted and Thurl are going to be that a-hole from Happy Gilmore. Yeah, jackass.
I mean, all that stuff.
All of it, man. Yeah.
Well, the heckling doesn't stop at you. When you hit the ball, I mean, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, of course.
Jesus, buddy.
Unless you have a great shot.
You paid money to come here? Okay. Good luck. And today's the day we do our random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK. I'll give you guys a few, as there was a question posed on things that Americans would do for $100.
100, because I saw two surveys. In England, it was $10,000. $10,000, there's some things you're willing to do. That's a decent amount of cash.
Okay.
This is $100. All
right, I'll give you guys one.
All right.
Would you rather show your mom your Google search history or drink your grandma's urine?
Oh, show my mom my Google her search history.
Really?
I don't think she'd understand some of the terms I look up.
What if she had the caveat of she can search up a term? So if she's like, I don't know what that is. And then she can actually see what it is that you're Googling versus just the term, right?
Well, it's just the Google, right? So it's not what I'm searching for in an adult site.
Not once you get to the site. Right. Just what you
Yeah,
Google.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I get.
Well,
as I've gotten older, I could definitely show my mother my Google search history because, believe it or not, I would say 99% of it is work related.
That there lies the problem.
And then the other one, and look, some of our work searches are really bad and really stupid. And if you did not know what we did for a living, because VD always jokes, if the FBI were to go through Google search,
he's not kidding,
they would just arrest you. And I'm like, right, but it's actually research. But unfortunately, we have to research some odd things.
The thing that would be the hardest for me is remembering why I looked that up. So what were we doing on the show that made me go,
Miles, why did you Google?
like Dirty Big Dummy. When we were doing that on the Men's Room Happy Hour, the things that I were looking up as far as researching the names of porn stars and movies and all these things, you'd be thinking to yourself, this guy has some kind of weird problem.
Oh, absolutely. Like this, based on those Google searches alone, like this guy is sex star, probably some incel dude living in his parents' basement at 50.
But you learn a lot of things about names and how they can be twisted into possible funnier names.
Sure.
Names that lend themselves to be a little bit more pornographically inclined. You know what I'm saying? We brought up the fact that Randy Johnson yesterday. All right,
He's a great name for a porn star.
He's going to have his number retired again. He's 51. Obviously, Ichiro's already had his number retired. So Randy's going to do it. But Randy
51.
Johnson, like Dick Butkus, we always bring him up. Okay? Funny name.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
But Randy Johnson? I mean, Randy.
Right, come on.
Randy Johnson? Those are the kind of names I was looking up. Yeah.
My favorite was Magic Johnson, then brother got HIV. I'm like, not so magic.
No.
Just saying, that's the worst nickname in history.
I definitely would do the Google search engine on this one. Just based on the fact that I can excuse it through work.
Even the things that aren't work related, I would still excuse through work.
You can. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the
you
difference.
have a pass on this.
If we were accountants and had the exact same Google search history, I might have to drink grandma's pee.
I don't know. Bless you. I don't know that my Google search history is that odd.
It might be odd, but I still don't necessarily want to share it. Like, porn is not an odd thing. They have all those thumbnails and all the categories because on some level, none of those are odd. I don't necessarily want to share my non-oddness with my mom.
I think I think most people would have a tougher time having their parents look through their phone pictures that you have saved on your phone.
Oh, no. Sure.
I think because that's going to lend itself to what are you doing there? Where are you? And why did you send that? Or who sent you that? And
right.
Why do you have that? And why did you keep that? And
you can probably guess why anyone kept anything.
That's why the cloud's a dangerous place, because you think you might have deleted that photo. The cloud's got it.
It's there.
Whether you received it or whether
it's out there.
Whether you sent it out there, trust me, they know. They got a pretty good idea. Okay. 206-803-ROCK is the random Would You Rather question.
Hello, Brock. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Brock, welcome to the program. Random question. Brock, let me ask you a question. How old are you?
I am 57.
57. This one is the perfect way to start, okay? All right, Brock? Whatever the deal is, if it's a sporting event, if it's a concert, wherever you are, would you rather stay for the end of the game, stay for the encore, or leave early and beat the traffic? So you're at that age, man.
I'd say 57, man. Things change.
Yeah, no, it changed. I got a good story on that one. I went to a concert, and we left. I thought the headliner was Sheryl Crow, and it turns out it was Brandi Carlile, and I didn't know who that was because I'm too old. And we left a little early because I wanted to get out of there early, and she had Soundgarden play with them that day.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, also, too, both those artists are talented in their own way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Brandi Carlile, obviously, as far as being a musician, is probably more highly sought and highly thought of as far as that, you know, being just, I don't know. Not that Sheryl Crow is not. It's just they're different styles.
The depth of talent probably leads toward Brandi Carlile.
And that's no slamming at Sheryl Crow. That's more of a compliment to Brandi Carlile.
But I think it depends. Go ahead.
When I was there, though, it was funny because I could tell by the crowd looked different. I was like, wow, Sheryl Crow's got some new people because it was a lot younger and stuff. And,
but they're there for Soundgarden?
Brandi Carlile.
No, they were there for Carlile.
Carlile. All right. Let's assume you go to the Mariners and the Orioles tonight. All right, and the Mariners are up 5-1 in the seventh inning. 5-1. We'll just assume it's 5-1.
What a concept.
Are you confident enough to say, you know what? I still got to go to work on Thursday morning. I'm going to take off. I'll listen to the game on the way home, and maybe they'll pull it off. Maybe they'll hold on to the win. Or do you wait to the end?
If it's a close game, I'll stay to the end. But no, 5-1, I'm out of there in the seventh. And hey, wait, Miles, I'm disappointed about your golf tournament because I totally would have put a foursome together, but I'm still 2 weeks away from my shoulder surgery. So
no, don't mess that up.
Yeah, no,
I know. And I'm going to probably come down. I'm going to try. I got PT that day, but I'm going to try and come down just for the shenanigans.
I was going to say, man, just come down anyway.
I mean, look, Daily makes a broadcast till 10. The tournament starts at 8.
Right.
So
it'll be good.
You don't need to be in the tournament to show up and check out the morning show. Now, what you cannot do is end up on the golf course.
All right, that's all.
That's the thing. You can't go on the course, but you can show up at the clubhouse.
But the party's going to be
at the clubhouse.
right.
So that's where you want to be anyway. So you can,
you
can definitely do that.
You're teeing off at 10, so you'll probably be back there around 3.
Teeing off at 8.
Teeing off at 8. 8 o'clock.
Oh, 8. Yeah, okay. All right.
But you can leave early to beat the traffic. I really, look, there's two things that I think comes to this. One, if I'm at White River, I'm not staying for your encore. Because it's such a nightmare to get in and out of, honestly.
Okay.
Even if it's my favorite band, it's like, man, we've got to go because I don't feel like sitting in the parking lot for 3 hours.
Especially if you've seen them before.
If you've seen them before, right? Climate Pledge, I live close to a light rail line, so it's like, look, man, we can stay until the end. You can bar hop a little, but also the band, all right? So I grew up a massive KISS fan. No problem with that. But as a fact, their encore song is going to be Rock and Roll All Night. There's no surprise, and that's one of my least favorite songs from them. So for me, once KISS leaves the stage after the initial show, I'm like, let's go. But then other bands like Tool, you see Tool, they're done. You know they're coming back out for an encore because the lights are still dim, right? That's the giveaway. But you think to yourself, okay, I did not hear this song or this song. They might play it, but then Tool kind of just does what the hell they want anyway. Yeah. So I have stayed for a Tool encore. They played 3 songs, so it took like 45 minutes because that's about how long their freaking song. That was worth it. We went to the Metallica show most recently down at whatever outdoor stadium they played in. I don't remember. Was it T-Mobile? I don't know. Whichever one, but
Lumen.
So we went to the show. We are rocking out about halfway through. Wife and I looked at each other and said, God damn, I'm getting old, but I'm good, you know? And then my wife's like, and look, the show was great. We were having fun, but then we're looking at the people and then the whole beat the traffic conversation. I'm like, we have hit that freaking age.
To me, it depends. Like, I had my Sounder season ticket for so many years that I didn't mind leaving some of those early to beat the traffic because I was like, I go to so many of them. Same with, like, like, NFL is usually a little different.
I will stay until the end.
And for some reason, it seems like most of those games come down to the fourth quarter. But I also think it depends on what you're doing. So last year when I went to see Hootie and the Blowfish down at White River, like my buddy Sal, like he's like, hey, my wife loves Hootie. We are not leaving.
You're in it.
before the encore. I said, cool. So we packed up a cooler and just sat in the parking lot waiting for all the traffic.
Okay. All right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
So,
they were
that's
done
smart.
drinking, and they were just like, you two could do, we just sat, me and my buddy, we just sat on the tailgate and kind of messed with people in traffic.
I think if you're at the Gorge, there's nothing really to do.
You're going to walk to a campsite.
Yeah, so you might as well stay for the entire show because you're not driving back to Seattle that night.
No.
So more than likely, and you probably are going to stay up later anyway based on how you prepared for this quote-unquote camping adventure. But, definitely.
Sphere, state of the end.
I believe it because that's a whole experience.
It's so cool. You don't want to miss anything.
Climate pledge, I try to leave just so I can get a Uber home. So if the game is kind of out of hand as far as the Kraken goes or whatever,
sure,
I'll take off.
See, I would thrill. Well, we live near each other.
I was just saying, we have that light rail.
The light
stop,
rail's so
like,
easy that it's like hockey games always like either hanging out or it's a good game. I'm staying till the end because it's easy to hop on the light rail.
And it's also easy to bar hop. So like the light rail after any sporting event is going to be absolutely packed, right? But again, we're not driving to the light rail station. So if I decide I'm going to power down a bunch of beer, I know the bars are going to be packed. But because I have to get to the light rail station, it's like, all right, look, man, let's just walk 3 blocks. There's going to be another bar. It's less crowded. Get S-faced, hop on the light rail, go home.
That's why.
But if I did not live near the light rail, I think I might leave Climate Pledge early.
See, but that's why I stay late. I stay to the end of all the games that I go to because the wife and I, we'll park here at the studio and we'll walk on down there to the stadiums. And so when the game's over, we bypass all the traffic by basically outwaiting it, walking all the way back up here. We get to the car, and then we're just right out here by the freeway.
We did that. We
down.
did that last night. Seriously, by the time we got back, because everyone just parked in the parking garage here. By the time we got back, man, like traffic was kind of done.
It's gone, yeah.
With the exception of the fact that there was a crash on the whatever you call it, the express lanes headed north.
Oh God!
I was like, you guys.
So Vegas obviously an exception to the rule.
Yep.
Anything you're doing in Vegas, you're going to stay because time is not of a concern. You're still going to be able to go to a restaurant and eat someplace if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter what time of day.
And again, honestly, I think it depends on your friends, too, especially with football. You know what I mean? If you have buddies that have a tailgate going and they're like, well, we're going to post tailgate a little bit, it's like, all right.
Okay.
Yep.
You know?
Okay. You guys know...
by the way, just, the average Mariner fan, I would say left, was it bottom of the 8th or bottom of the 7th? I want to say they started piling out of there.
Yeah, I think bottom of the 7th when, that's
cut
kind
off
of
the beer
definitive
sales,
moment.
they're out.
Exactly.
That actually has a lot
It's
to
also
do with it.
Tuesday night.
Right. And there's that nail in the coffin moment. When the home run goes over that we clearly have not been putting anything together.
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's time to go.
Also, the good news is that Muckleshoot has that huge hotel.
That is
down
huge.
by
That's
White
a game
River.
changer.
So that really changes the game as far as, okay, am I going to stay for the encore or not? So you guys know Jason Aldean, right?
Another name. Sure.
Yeah.
Country
He's
guy, right?
Country music guy.
Yeah.
So he was asked about what he thought about encores at concerts, and he shot it straight. I love this guy's answer. He said, I am not a big encore guy. I hate when artists kind of bait the crowd into that. It's like, oh, I'm not going to play one of my biggest songs. He went on to say, look, I always tell him, listen, I'm just going to play you everything we got. When it's over, it's over. That is it. I'm not going to go off stage for 5 minutes, wait for you guys to cheer for me to come back out like I'm one of those people. So how does he handle the end of the show? He says, when we leave the stage,
we're done.
We're done. He says, it's like going to see the Eagles, and then they end the show before they played Hotel California. He's like, you know damn well they're going to come back, right, and they're going to play Hotel California. It's like, you know the magic trick.
Sure.
Exactly. I think now, too, we expect it, so it's not as exciting. I feel like back in the day, they would come out. Like, for instance, once at Summer Meltdown, I did stage announcements for Dumpster Funk.
Oh, God, great band.
Right? And, it was real loose. And when I got up there to take them off stage, the sound guy goes, see if they want to do another one. And I said, you guys want to do another one? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I just looked at the crowd and said, you want to hear another one? They said, yeah. And I was like,
but that's legit.
That's legit.
That's legitimate.
Right.
What would you have done if you say that to the crowd?
No.
They're like, no, not really. I mean, how do you handle that? Because now you're the middleman.
Well, trust me. These people were already so worked. Yeah. Dumpster Funk had crushed it.
Yeah.
So, I literally just held the mic down and was like, you guys cool with doing another one? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, all right. So it seemed like a non-miss.
Right.
Now that it never dawned on me.
But you were actually responsible for doing that.
You know what? You're right, Miles. I made memories for people.
That's pretty cool.
You guys want more?
More of the random Would You Rather question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers and select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
When was the last time you refreshed your bedding? Sleep cooler with Avocado's naturally breathable, certified organic sheets. Choose from GOTS certified organic cotton, linen, or hemp. All made safe certified to the highest standards of non-toxic safety. Delivering the ultimate in luxury, sustainability, and style. And a deeper, more restorative sleep. Join Avocado's mission to be one of the world's most sustainable brands at avocadomattress.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
When a cold has you down, it's the little comforts that lift you up. A warm blanket, a cup of tea, and a tissue that actually feels good on your skin. Infused with aloe, Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe provides a hint of cooling freshness to help your skin feel restored. So, whether your skin is feeling dry, chafed, or irritated, you're only one wipe away from helping it feel relieved. So, the next time you have a cold, get a hint of instant cooling relief with new Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Chris, welcome to the program. What do we have for you? Let's see here. Okay. I want to give you a good one.
Gonna get him a good one?
Yep.
I'm excited.
Okay.
We can hear it in your voice.
All right. Would you rather see your parents naked, all right, right now, or hypothetically, or maybe not, see your adult kids naked? What would you rather have to walk in on?
Oh, well, I've already seen my parents naked.
Lucky you.
So, yeah, I'll probably just take that.
Is that based on the fact that you are caring for them?
No, well, my mom lives with me,
Okay.
and my dad is in Michigan. So, I mean, the odds of them both being in the same room doing anything wild is pretty slim to none.
Wild, yeah.
Well, I mean, not even necessarily that. You might have to shower your mother.
Right.
Or, bathe her.
I could do that.
So,
Could you sponge bath your mom?
yes. Yes, I could.
I really
I
need it,
absolutely
yeah.
could.
No, I mean, look, I could and I would, but there's nothing about it that
So,
I want.
well, I look at it
the
this
doctor
way.
say, "Hey, man, you got to do this." Be like, "God, fine."
If my mom was in that situation,
Yeah.
she took care of me. So I would definitely take care of her.
Sure.
Difference is, if my
Oh, yeah,
kids were in that
that's
situation,
100%.
then that's not a good situation. That means
Right.
something terrible's happened. Now, with my mother, she's in her 70s. The math adds up. But for my kids, if it was a clinical situation, then that would mean that something horrible has
But say
happened.
it's not. Say they determined that they're nudists, whether it's your mom or your kid. So when they come to visit you, they're just roaming around your place naked. They're not walking outside. But when you get home, your daughter's eating a bowl of chili. She's naked on the sofa.
Be like, dude, my house, my rules, put clothes on.
Right.
I don't care how old you are.
And I don't know, the kids would just seem a little bit more weird than seeing your parents, because your parents seeing you naked.
Right.
It's one of those things that I don't know. I just feel that seeing my kids naked would be weirder than seeing my parents naked.
Okay.
I don't know.
So-
For me, that just...
After a certain age, I'm not going to see my kids naked, right? Like, that time has passed.
So I live by myself. I sleep nude, right? So, but every once in a while, one of my daughters will come down, spend the night, we'll hang out, and they'll drive back in the morning.
Sure.
Spend the night together, watch TV, whatever. So there are times that I kind of forget this is going on.
Right.
When you wake up in the morning, your routine's the same. I make a cup of coffee every morning. I don't put clothes on.
You had coffee naked?
Yeah.
Gonna burn your penis.
I walk around, I use the bathroom.
I burn my penis.
I don't put on clothes until I go to the gym. So for about an hour and a half.
The gym appreciates it.
I'm just up, walking around naked. But, the last time that my kid, well, not the last time, but the time before that, I'm downstairs making coffee, and I hear stirring around upstairs, and I'm standing in the kitchen naked, and I hear my daughter start to walk down the steps. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on for a minute. Go back into the room. You don't want to see this. I forgot. I will be upstairs in a second. I'll just put some clothes on. Just give me 2 minutes.
They should give you a thank you.
Well, I explained to her. I was like, oh my God, I will do things like I will go and use the bathroom with the door open.
Right.
And I'm taking a pee and like, Dad. And I'm like, oh God.
Well, I forgot you're here, man.
No, I know you're here. I'm just so used to doing things the way I do things.
Yeah.
When you live alone, that I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking like I should be. So.
Yeah, I used to sleep naked, and then we had kids, still slept naked, but then they were old enough to walk, and as little kids do, whether it's a bad dream, can't sleep, feel sick, you name it, right? They climb into bed. So real quick, once my daughter could learn how to walk, right? Once that happened, I realized she finds her way into our bed at like 4 in the morning. Like, I'm going to put on underwear.
Yeah.
And that's when it changed. Because even my son was like, you sleep in your underwear, man? I said, I used to sleep naked until you and your sister would climb into bed pretty much every freaking night. And I did not like the situation.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, that's why. So, yeah, man. You know what? I could probably get back to it now.
Well,
they're old enough. They don't come into the bedroom. Yeah.
But they will come in if they're not feeling well. There's still the opportunity. They're not going to bust in and sleep because they have a bad dream.
Right.
But they will definitely come in if they have a stomach ache or they're not feeling well or they have a headache. Or
yeah, my daughter pulled that a couple of months ago. I can't remember. She was sick. I don't remember. It was head, stomach, whatever. But it's like 3 in the morning. She rolls in, tells me what her situation is. And I'm just like, what? But you're old enough to know that I can't do anything about this. Certainly.
Yeah.
So in the end, I'm just like, just get in bed. And it's amazing with kids that just by saying those words, suddenly they feel better, right? Because the reason she came because I feel sick. I understand she had a bit of a temperature. I can't sleep. Like, baby, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, just climb into bed with me and your mom. She climbs between us. She's out in 2 seconds. And I'm like, is that literally all it takes?
I'm not sure if it's the kids or the parents that cut off the nudity. So I can't remember. Like, I remember I would put both my kids in the bathroom.
I think the parents do.
I'm pretty sure around first grade, I determined that, look, I will draw you a bath. But, I mean, if they're going to walk around naked and jump in the tub, there was a time right there where I was like, all right, look, this... And it wasn't that they were still my kids. I just you need to learn. You need to learn your privacy.
You do this yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You're old enough now, and I'm not gonna bother you. If you need any help, if you need me to get you a towel or something like that, or whatever you need.
But the door is cracked.
I'll throw it in the door, right? But I'm not gonna barge in on you. But
what did your kids call their genitalia when they're little? Right? Because little boys, they have I have a pee-pee. And my son's old enough now; he's got a D, right? But it was the word they used, and I don't know if they got it from school, but universally, it was their privacy. And it just cracked her because I never heard. You sound like this old British dude, but he's like 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember what he was talking about, but I almost got hit, and he was trying to think of what to say. He's like, in my privacy. And I could not help but smile. I'm like, your privacy. And he points as though I can't figure it out. I said, no, okay, man, your privacy.
I just called everything down there the butt.
So
I was like, wash your butt, please.
Your front butt.
Yeah, well, not even
back butt.
Just wash your butt. Wash your downstairs.
Well, it's funny because, one thing about little boys, they don't necessarily separate the term for the twig and the berries. It's just the area, right? If they say the PP, it could be the PP, it could be the thing under, okay? So yesterday we're walking to the baseball game. And Mike, I think you heard this. And my son was riding bitch on someone else's bike, right? And he was saying his buddy took this big curb, and he's like, Dad, it smashed my balls so hard. I was like, oh yeah, okay, we're at that point now.
Yeah.
And then he added, I won't have children. And in my head, I'm like, you're 13. How is this a thing?
Right.
I'm not worried about just called them privates if I'm talking to a kid.
It was privates, but they were private.
If you're babysitting a kid or something, like, take a bath, wash everything. Don't forget to wash your
privates. Yeah. For them, it wasn't privates. It was privacy.
Reason
Privacy.
we
I like
asked
that.
And there is something
I gotta
about
wash my privacy.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, man.
But I'd like to make it public with somebody I know, but I mean.
I'm going to try that in my adult life.
What, your privacy?
Yeah, hey, girl, play your cards right. You might see my privacy.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. I would like to see yours.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's security code?
The reason we asked, would you rather see your
6'9".
parents naked or your adult kids naked? Patrick Schwarzenegger, he did a full frontal scene in season 3 of The White Lotus. And I guess it really made an impression on his dad. But believe it or not, Arnold is he's pretty cool with it. During a conversation between the two of them for Variety magazine, Arnold said, quote, "I couldn't believe it. I said to myself, I'm watching your show, and I'm watching your butt sticking out there. And then all of a sudden, I see the weenie."
Did he say the weenie?
I see the weenie.
The weenie.
I see the weenie.
A grown man
Yes.
calls his son's penis a weenie.
He says, "What is going on here? This is crazy." Then I said to myself, well, Arnold, hello. You did the same thing in Conan and Terminator, or Conan at that time, and Terminator. So you really can't complain about it or bitch to your kid.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, everyone remembers looking at your ass in Terminator.
Well, he also
But
did
that's my weenie. Yeah. The first scene he was in, I believe, in Terminator, it's like, there is a naked Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're right. No weenie.
But he did black and whites when he was a bodybuilder, completely nude. So he did a whole portfolio of him just
beautiful.
Of him just posing naked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like my brother's seen me naked. I've seen him naked, just locker rooms and stuff.
Sure.
And then I don't know. Like I always said, like back in the day, like I remember going to a gym with my dad. Like I don't know. It didn't seem as odd with my dad or my brother.
I feel like,
but I certainly wouldn't see my mom or my sister naked.
Right, correct. So while Anna did appear fully nude in those movies, he did not show his weenie.
His weenie. It's all about the weenie.
So Patrick actually took things a step further.
How dare you?
Yeah. Now, he did say his mom didn't really comment on the deal. Elsewhere in the interview, Arnold praised Patrick for embracing his Nepo baby status. "I'm glad you kept the name because now I can take credit for it."
That is mine.
Yes.
I gave that to you.
Yeah.
Your mother was left speechless. Look at this. Look at this weenie. I did hammer curls.
So was the
for 30
housekeeper.
days.
So was the housekeeper. Love my weenie.
It's for everybody.
I'm a son. I'm another son.
One weenie, 2 sons.
One weenie, 3 women.
Doing deadlifts.
So, Miles, why did you say your kid's sitting on the couch naked eating a bowl of chili?
I
he
brought
did
up
that.
chili. I wanted to make it awful.
Damn, I don't know. Like I've said this before. Like sometimes after sex, you're kind of hanging out, maybe we're sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
I just find it incredibly odd to eat naked.
I don't.
Like shirtless, whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I've eaten naked. I'm trying to go through my memory. I'm sure there's a moment where I was naked, reached in the fridge and grabbed something.
Right,
but like,
I'm not counting
to
that.
Sit down and just say, F it, man. I'm comfortable.
It needs to be something decadent, like a big old, ice cream sundae or something like that. And
Why
you're just
couldn't it
treating
just
yourself.
be like a grilled cheese sandwich? Why does it have to be decadent for you to eat it naked? How does that justify it?
Well, I'm drinking coffee naked every morning.
So caviar would be better to eat naked, say, than a bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all visual.
It is.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
If I got a drum, even if I got a drumstick, I'm just in a freezer, man. I got an ice cream bar.
Yeah.
Naked,
Or it has to be something like
totally
that.
fine. But back to the chili thing that Ted was saying.
Right.
That's
Like, I can't be
I'm
naked.
eating ribs naked. No, that's
No,
weird.
I can't be naked getting down on a bowl of spaghetti or something like that.
Really?
Because that just doesn't fit. I have to be sitting there like eating grapes or something like that, like I'm an old Greek painting or something like
So
that.
you got to go Roman emperor on this.
Pretty
What
much,
about that
dude.
thing you bought at the stadium yesterday? Everybody wanted to take.
Oh, the
With
ice cream
caramel.
nachos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd
Yeah.
you get?
Would you eat that
ice cream
naked?
nachos. Ooh, have you
Bro,
not seen
seriously,
those?
I was about to mug him for him.
Oh, my God. Dude.
How
It
was
was
it?
great. They were fantastic.
What is the chips?
Waffle cone.
Oh, that makes
It's
sense.
like waffle
Okay,
cone
all right,
chip, and you have
all
what?
right,
Caramel,
okay.
fudge,
Yeah, you
and
got caramel and you got fudge and you got a swirl of soft serve.
Did you even eat dinner? Did you just dive straight
No,
into that?
I just went straight for that.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Those do look good.
Dude, they were
Dude, it
freaking
looked-
dope. They were so damn good.
yeah. Then you and your wife, it made it worse. It's like, oh wow, baby, this is good. God, that's really good.
I
oh,
would-
this is so
So
good.
you dip some of the ice cream and then dip it in the sauce?
Whatever you want to do, man. Yeah.
Because the picture I have, it's like ice cream, the waffle chips,
Yeah.
and then the sauces.
Yeah. And I would eat that naked.
Look, the first time I saw
You eat that
I'd
naked.
eat that naked.
The first
Next
time I
baseball
saw,
game we go to,
Right.
you get that, you strip down naked.
Everybody quit looking.
Well, the first
You're
time
making it weird.
First time I
Watch the
saw
game.
somebody eat sushi, I was like, man, I am in Seattle. And then I realized that is basically the trend that is following.
Oh, the baseball game.
Seattle is a pioneer, one of the pioneer stadiums as far as just expanding the food menu so that you can go and eat decent food at the ballpark.
We had Din Tai Fung.
I'll tell you what threw me off. One of the first Mariners games I went to back in like 07 or something, I went with somebody who grew up here.
All right.
And she was like, I got to get clam strips. And I was like, what?
Ivers?
Yeah. She was like, that's what we did. We'd go to Ivor. And I was like, I have just never heard of that. But again, it's a Seattle thing. I've never heard of garlic fries.
Nope.
Like none of that
We
stuff.
focus a lot on making sure the stadium is nice, not the team inside.
Like when we went to Orioles games, me and my brother, like it was like tradition. We got you got an Italian sausage, or you went out to Boogs and got like a pit beef.
But you could also get a crab cake.
Yeah.
You could.
They're there, but I never really saw anybody eat them.
No, because the thing
you can get a crab cake anywhere in
Baltimore. So the idea of eating it at a stadium is kind of like,
but I back to that crab sandwich or a lobster roll. I know in San Francisco they do out in the outfield. They have a little stand there that does crab and or lobster rolls. Jesus Christ, man! I mean, those are so good. You're talking about the sandwich that's at the T-Mobile. There's some good food at Baltimore.
Should I have done the crab place at T-Mobile? Because I'm walking
crab
around
sandwich
with the kids.
is pretty damn good.
Because the kids are on a mission, right? So my daughter, she wanted chicken fingers. And before we even looked at anything, chicken fingers. I'm like, frickin' of course. Thank you, Kid Valley, for having chicken fingers. Because I had to walk quite a bit, and it's getting to the point where I know I'm getting annoyed. Because I cannot find them, and I just don't feel like walking through the whole stadium. So I saw them there. And then my son wants a pizza. So one of those alcohol-only joints.
All right.
The way it was set up, you couldn't entirely see in. So me and my son, we both thought that they had pizzas back there. So I go walking into this thing with my kid, and this lady's like, what? He can't be in here. And my son's like, why not? Very indignant. She's like, it's all alcohol. He's like, oh, my bad.
Sorry.
I was like, do you have pizza? She's like, no. I'm like, look, man, we both thought, my bad. But yeah, he was irritated.
Random.
Hello, Jim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, Abitrola.
Jim, welcome to the program, the Random Would You Rather question. Since we're talking about parents, might as well stick with that subject. Okay, so would you rather, Jim, call your mom or dad if the S hit the fan? At any point in your life, depending on the scenario, depending on the trouble you were in, where did you typically lean if, man, you got to call one of these two people because things are probably not good to some degree. So who are you calling first? Who's your safety?
Oh, my mom.
Your mom. Is that because she would give you better advice and help?
Or because you're her son? I feel like daughters go dads, sons go moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm her son, the safety and was always the easy way out.
So what is the worst trouble you got in where that scenario could have played out?
Oh, man, this is quite a story. When I was 16 years old, I had bought a car, and I was driving it without the proper insurance and license plates and such things, and I eluded the police at a very young age. And yeah, that's what the charge was.
Okay, all right. So you did not really successfully elude them. Then if there's a charge.
No, I crashed and ended up, I woke up in the emergency room, and they asked us who I wanted them to call, and I said my mother.
Okay. So you've seen this movie. You've been there.
I guarantee, if my kids get into trouble, I guarantee you, my son would call mom, my daughter would call me. I mean, it's just understood because guy to guy, you have, especially like this guy that just called, right? So you eluded police and crashed a car. You're going to want to talk to your mom because your mom's going to freak out and all that. But in the end, are you okay?
Okay.
You call and tell me that you did that. Like, boy, when you get out of the hospital, I'm going to put you back in it, right? That's kind of the feeling you get.
But I will say from personal experience, I called my dad from jail. Just because he he was just like, all right.
I do feel like
yes. Your mom would have worried.
She would have worried. She would have freaked out. Correct. Like he was just like I knew he was pissed, but he was like, all right, I'll work on it.
You know what? You're right. If my son went to jail,
we'll deal with this later.
He would call me because it's just like, I'm not even going to ask. but I'm going to pick her ass up.
My daughters. If the question was somewhat sexually based, whether that was a problem with the private areas or any of that stuff, that's going straight to mom.
Strictly.
So any of that stuff I never would hear about. That would be completely their own conversation that I would not be involved in. However, if it was on a different level, I think they would call me based on the fact that they know I'd be like, you jackass. But knowing that I probably have done worse.
Right. If something's broken.
Go to the parents.
Yes, exactly. Like this guy, he can't really give me too much crap because I have a pretty good idea he's done a lot worse than mom.
If you need support, you go to mom. If something's broken and needs fixing or you effed up, you go to dad.
You know what? You're right. Text pretty much sums it up. Says if I was sick, I'd call my mom because my dad's response 100% of the time is, you're fine. Yeah. For anything else, get in trouble, crash, car, etc., call dad.
2 weeks away from Father's Day, that's why we're asking if you call your mom or dad if the S hit the fan. And when many kids will take to social media to pay tribute to their father for their mentorship, some may also thank them for their advice. All right? So in a new poll, 70% of people who grew up with a father, 70% of people who grew up with a father in their lives said their dad is one of the greatest mentors in their life. One of them.
Sure.
Okay? 17%, just 17% said their dad is the person they go to the most when they need advice. Mm-hmm. That's a low number. 25% said their father is a person they would call in a stressful situation if they needed support.
Sure.
Again, 1 in 4. In fact, 30% said they've called their dads for help in the last week. So whatever that is, I
think if you need a particularly emotional response or a whole lot of support, I feel like you go to mom. Because dad's, like, and not that we're trying to be this way, but just as a guy, you make things very black and white, even if they're not. Like, these are your choices. Yeah. Make one.
Well, and I think, too, like, the reason that number I would think is low is, like, at a certain age, you start to look to your peers or somebody in your industry. Yep. Or even, even, you know what I mean? You look for other people to ask advice as opposed to calling your father.
They also say dads are the ones that just do things without mentioning anything. For an example, most kids said their dad just bought them deodorant and sat them out in the bathroom. Didn't say anything.
No, I don't need to.
Just said, like, look, I think this says it all. It's his time now. You need to start wearing deodorant.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
And dad will tell you straight up, you stink, kid.
Masters of subtlety.
Yes, where your mom be like, I think our son's starting to stink. Dad's go like, oh, he reeks.
Oh, my wife tells kids straight up, like, Jesus, you smell like ass. They're like, thank you, Mom.
More of the random Would You Rather question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
When was the last time you refreshed your bedding? Sleep cooler with Avocado's naturally breathable, certified organic sheets. Choose from GOTS certified organic cotton, linen, or hemp. All made safe certified to the highest standards of non-toxic safety. Delivering the ultimate in luxury, sustainability, and style. And a deeper, more restorative sleep. Join Avocado's mission to be one of the world's most sustainable brands at avocadomattress.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
When a cold has you down, it's the little comforts that lift you up. A warm blanket, a cup of tea, and a tissue that actually feels good on your skin. Infused with aloe, Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe provides a hint of cooling freshness to help your skin feel restored. So, whether your skin is feeling dry, chafed, or irritated, you're only one wipe away from helping it feel relieved. So, the next time you have a cold, get a hint of instant cooling relief with new Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today. And live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK.
It's a charity idea, Mike.
Okay.
Hello, Rob. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Random.
Yo, bitches.
Hola.
Rob, how are you? Welcome to the Random Would You Rather question. Let's see what we got here for you.
Well, it wasn't my question. I heard that you guys wanted to ask a question. I called in about the mother and the father, who would you go to?
Okay. And who would you go to?
Yeah. All right. So, it was my dad all the time because I'd get in trouble and I was kind of like a chip off his block. And my mother, he worked nights, so it'd be easier to deal with her during the day. But, my dad, he was always my man.
Okay.
Now we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, it's not a bad guy to have in your corner then.
Well, what I didn't understand after the call-in guy, that I would be you guys would be asking me a question or something, and I was calling in, and that segment was already over.
That's correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
So now we have a different question for you. A would you rather?
Okay.
You ready?
Hypothetical.
Okay, here you go. Would you rather spend one night in a tent in Africa or attempt to run a marathon?
Ooh.
Do I have time to train?
Yeah, you do.
I'm thinking, do you get ammo or guns in that tent in Africa?
You know what? Sure. Why not?
All right, I'll go with that.
Okay. I'm going
right.
to spend a night in a tent in Africa.
I would spend the night in the tent in Africa, even though it terrifies me. But the idea of running a marathon, I cannot explain how little interest I have in doing it. I get it's this incredible human achievement, blah, blah, blah. Nothing about it appeals to me. I would much rather spend one night in scary-ass Africa.
You would not sleep.
I believe that. I'm just in a tent. I'm not thinking I'm sleeping. I just know I'm in a tent listening to everything.
All the noises are at night. All the activity.
How much death do you hear?
All of the hunting. All of the fighting. Everything. The dust-ups. All of those animals hunt nocturnally.
Yeah.
So during the day is the peaceful times. That's when you go on a safari.
What was the scariest sound you heard at night? Like you said,
it could have been a bird. I mean, I don't know. You don't know.
I don't know what the animal is.
I heard hippos getting into it, for sure. Elephants don't really, once they're in a pack, they are very communal.
Right.
So there's not a dust up, so to say. The matriarch of the elephant pack
runs the show, right?
And she is so much bigger than all the other elephants. This is like
really.
This is Big Bertha.
Okay.
I mean, this elephant. When you see the elephant, you're like, oh my God, that's the matriarch. There's no doubt about it. Like you are stunned at the size of this creature.
What up, baby?
I mean, obviously, it's the biggest animal on Earth, other than a blue whale.
Right.
But as far as a land animal, that's as big as it gets.
Did you hear about the elephant in Thailand today?
Who went into the convenience store?
So there's a convenience store. It was a wild animal, wild elephant. It walks into the convenience store. It grabs a bunch of snacks off the counter, and it has to back itself out. Now, the thing about this is, it did not really destroy anything. Its back kind of hit the drop ceiling because it couldn't help it, right? And it left muddy footprints on the floor. That's it. They have a big, I mean, this is like a 7-Eleven.
Tiptoed out.
It's a big-ass elephant. He grabbed whatever snacks are in the counter.
Still robbery.
I'm guessing like Slim Jim. Oh, they arrested his ass.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I might take that, try to do a marathon.
Really?
Well, you're going to give me time to train, right?
Right.
Yep.
To me, that's what makes it worse, because it's one thing to run the marathon, right? And you go, congratulations, all that. My sister-in-law runs marathons. And that's cool. The thing about it is, every time I talk to her, it does not matter the time of year, she's still training for the next one.
Because she's got 4 or 5 on the docket, probably a year.
She does. And I'm like, so you're just always doing this thing.
And when you're not, you're almost there. So I think most training runs are, when you're at that point, 18 to 20 miles.
Yeah.
So once you get that far, you just know you push through for the remainder of it.
And that's what she'll run, like 18 miles, but she'll say, well, I had to go out for a light run because I'm training for whichever marathon's coming up. There's always one coming up. I'm like, how far are you going to run? She's like, well, all my nephews are here, so I was going to do like 18 miles. But she says it like you're going to walk to the corner and get a slice of pizza.
It stages like that. So if you can do 6 miles, you can do 10. If you can do 10, you can do 15.
Right.
You can push through. If you can get in 10, you can do 15.
I get it. I don't want to do
If
any
you do
of it.
15, you can do 20. But then that's the gray area. That's where it starts getting like, man, I'm 4 deep. How many hours am I in on this?
Yeah.
This is a long ass haul. Like, do I still have it in me? Are my nipples still on my chest? You know, do I have chub rub between my thighs? You know, is my swanch all chafed and red and
That's
irritated?
why I'm taking the tent,
because
man.
you're sweating. So you're running in wet clothes. So most of those guys can stay dry. But if you're an average runner, you're going to sweat.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The problem is...
But it's all self-induced. That's why, to me, in the tent, if I'm attacked by a lion, like, look, I'm dead. There's no question about that. But I'm not voluntarily torturing myself to get this goal. I just got to spend one night.
So the reason we asked, would you rather spend a night in a tent in Africa or run a marathon? A well-known businessman was killed by a lion when he stepped out of his tent at a luxury lodge in Namibia.
He stepped out.
Northwest Namibia.
Well, he had to pee.
Which is where my daughter lives.
I would pee in my tent. Oh, really?
This is exactly where my kid lives.
I thought she was in Southeast Namibia.
She's in Northwest.
Yeah, I'm just
She's up by the what they call the it's basically where the ocean meets a desert. And I'm not kidding you. Like, you go over a dune like you would a Coos Bay.
Right, like the beach is part of a 200-mile desert.
Correct. And you go over this hump and boom, it's just out there. But he stepped outside to use the bathroom. Guy's 59 years old. His name is Bernard Kebbel. And he was staying in his tent, camping with his wife and friends. He goes outside to use the bathroom early in the morning. He was attacked before others could intervene and scare the animal away. By the time help arrived, he actually was dead from his injuries. By the time anyone could arrive.
Damn.
By the way, this guy was known for his support of the wildlife conservation of Namibia.
Well, guess what? It's working. Is that where you're talking about?
Yeah.
Pure desert ocean. It's actually gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's like a great place to die.
Yeah, my daughter, that's where she goes when she goes to the beaches.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like, I mean, people fail at marathons, but I don't hear a ton about people dying.
No. He was the owner of an off-road center, a company that's basically supplied safari vehicle gear.
Okay.
All right. Police stated they were investigating and would provide a full report.
Investigating what?
Yeah.
It took a pee. It's attacked by a lion. End of story, man.
By the way, they say the area is known for its small population of adapted lions, about 60 adults, maybe a dozen cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Their numbers.
One is plenty.
Well, the problem is there's a drought, and so there's not a lot of prey. So there's not a lot of food. So they're warning people, look, like this is the second recent fatal lion attack in Africa, following the death of a teenage girl outside of Nairobi and the national park in Kenya in April.
Outside of Nairobi? That's a major city.
In that case,
and right outside of that major city,
the lion went into the home and pulled the kid out.
Oh.
Damn.
Wow. See, you're almost safer in the tent.
Yeah.
He had to leave his tent to get attacked.
Okay. So,
I'm running that marathon, dude.
Yeah. Do you remember the video of the guy? He came home, I believe it was a cheetah in his laundry room or something like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it's like he opens the door. There is a cheetah in his home. And I don't remember if there's any audio with it, but you can kind of see he's trying to figure out what to do. You know, it kind of freaks out because the cat wasn't making any move to attack him, but still this guy had the presence of mind to know don't do anything to provoke it. So they're just kind of looking at each other. The cheetah, I believe, had been asleep. And the cheetah's kind of looking at him like, I would like to go back to sleep, but I want to see what your intent is. And then this poor guy, you could tell he's thinking, I don't care if you go back to sleep. I need you out of my place.
So, wildebeest are incredibly dangerous. Yeah. Believe it or not, cheetahs are one of the best things that you can run into in Africa.
That's what I've heard.
With the threat of not dying. Now, look, they're 60, 70 pounds. But they give you the best option. They will more than likely leave you alone.
Yeah. It's kind of like a black bear, right?
Where a leopard will not.
Right, like the cheetah really, he's like, I don't really want much to do with it.
I'm not in for a fight.
Unless you're like
Okay.
messing with his family.
Okay.
By the way, what's the biggest meal you eat every day?
The biggest meal?
Dinner.
You mean as far as
Dinner.
lunch? Yeah.
So why don't we say that humans eat nocturnally? Or hunt nocturnally?
Because maybe the sun's still up.
Yeah.
You know, we're in
Like
Seattle.
this
The
time of
sun
year.
doesn't go down until
I'm
like
just
9:30.
saying, like, I mean, you always hear that, and it's like, well, of course they do. Humans eat their biggest meal at night.
You know, that's a good point.
Right.
But they eat all night long.
All night long.
And then the hyenas come and they clear everything out.
Yeah.
So what was not eaten by the original, killer of the animal, then the hyenas come and they clean all the bones.
Except for that cheetah. Remember, the cheetah, while it's so fast, once it kills, it has to rest. So the hyenas just kind of trot along behind them. Those poor hyenas, or not the poor cheetah, like, they don't eat their kill. I want to say it's a high percentage. It's like 50 or 60% of the time the hyenas just show up and like, we're going to take that.
It's mine.
Man,
Right, it'd be like,
it's like being in Baltimore.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah,
imagine.
it's mine now.
Right, like you're sitting all day on your grill, right? You've been cooking something or whatever. I pop by, take your 2 steaks.
And that's it.
Because you're just tired. There's physically nothing you can do to stop me.
But Joseph showed up with a bunch of your buddies who are looking at me like, if you got a problem with them taking the steak, do something about it.
So as far as running the marathon, this is a real-life Barney Stinson situation. This guy was so confident he could complete a marathon with zero training, it started to agitate his wife to the point that she went out and signed him up for the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon last weekend. Now, here's what she did. She woke him up 24 hours before the race and told him, hey, guess what? Lucky you. I signed you up for the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon. You are running this race in 24 hours. His first response to his wife, I need to go to REI.
Okay.
Yeah.
They say it's safe to say that he has that dog in him because over the course of multiple viral videos on TikTok,
I saw these.
You see the guy get geared up, eat accordingly, and then complete the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon.
He killed it.
Zero training.
I think because I'm with Mike, I watched it. Like, he walked a little bit, but not much.
No.
Did he run the entire marathon? No. But he never claimed that he would. The claim was always that he can complete a marathon with zero training. He did exactly that. Now, his wife's first video went viral on TikTok. 6.6 million views. She wakes him up to inform him he's going to be running in the marathon. Now, after the success of that video, she obviously started documenting the entire saga. Now, in a much later clip, she discussed how not only does her husband not run, he doesn't work out at all. Now, she is a gym rat, which makes sense if you've been to San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, upon being woken up and informed he was running the marathon in San Diego, he knew he needed gear. So he goes and gets some goo packs.
What is the goo?
The goo are a little plastic packs.
Well, I know what they look like.
Is it like protein or something? Or
Yeah. I would assume it is protein heavy. Probably a little bit of carbohydrates in there. Typically, they're peanut butter or they're chocolate flavored. They probably have some electrolytes in them.
I know they, depending who you are, they can have a bad effect on your guts because the same sister-in-law is just talking about. We saw her last August. We picked her up at the train station in Philly, and then she's going to ride with us to go to the beach in Delaware, right? So the thing about it, she lives in New York City. So she said, look, honest to God, I'm going to do a light run. This one was 15 miles in New York City. Hop on the train, pick me up at the train station. No problem. So I'm waiting for her at the front. She walks out. She gives me a quick hug, drops her bags, says, I'll be right back. Both hands go to her stomach. She's gone, right? But 5 minutes later, she comes out, and I'm like, Meredith, did you ask yourself? She said, I was about to ask myself.
Jesus.
But she said it's from that goo.
The goo packs, what I got here, they are small, portable, easily digestible packets of concentrated carbohydrates designed to provide runners with a quick source of energy.
He also bought some running shoes because he didn't have those.
Probably a good idea.
So, still in complete and utter denial that her husband is actually going to do this with zero training. So she heads to the course. In a later video, the wife said she walked to the 10-mile marker on the course, getting into position to see her husband. That's when you see him run by.
Okay.
And her first clip of him running the marathon with literally zero training. He then crosses the 11-mile marker. Okay? He completed the 26.2-mile San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon as one of his wife's final videos shows him running across the finish line.
How long did it take him? Does it say?
It does not say the time. I would assume probably 6 to 8 hours, maybe.
That's where I'm thinking.
Does that seem about right?
Yeah. Because I walked 20 miles here not terribly long ago, and that was several hours to get that
Why
one done.
did you walk 20 miles?
Because
you run out of gas or something?
No, the whole thing is that on the phone it tracks our steps, and then the wife saw that there were badges for big step counts. So 10,000 gets one, 20,000 gets one, 30,000 gets one, 40,000 gets one. We didn't have the 40,000 one, so she wanted to set out to get 40,000 steps. I did the math online, and 40,000 steps is about 20 miles.
So how long did that take? Did that take 7 hours?
About 7 hours, yeah.
Okay.
And was it just one consistent walk?
So we cheated a little bit. We had gone to a birthday party the day before for her cousin. Left that place at around 11:30 at night. Got home around 10 minutes to midnight. So we took the dog for a walk and got a couple thousand steps at midnight.
Okay.
Woke up, walked the dog
right.
again. Then we did Green Lake twice, which is about a collective 7 miles. That got a lot of it out of it. Walked around downtown here. We parked at the studio, went down to the stadiums along the waterfront and all the way back. By the time we got home after that, we had about 8,000 miles left to go, or 8,000 steps left to go.
That's a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah. And to know that we did 40,000 steps and we still had 6 miles left to go after that to have completed a marathon, that's wild to me.
20 miles is long. When I was down at that F1 race, like we clocked about 10 miles in a day. And even my buddies, like, they're pretty fit dudes. And we were all like, man, my legs are getting tired.
Yeah, you start to feel it.
Yeah.
You definitely start to feel it.
Does that story include the video of the next morning miles?
It does not mention that.
Because there was a lot of comments in there that was like, hey, I'm tag me when you post the next morning, and she did. This guy literally has to lift his legs off the bed to put them on the ground just because he did.
Yeah,
and everybody kept saying that there was some condition that he needs to be careful of, where if you don't work out a lot and then all of a sudden you put like a bad workout on him, apparently, like, it's either collagen or maybe there's like calcium deposits that build up in those muscles that haven't been worked, and you could actually really screw yourself up.
I've done 15. That's the longest I've run.
15 miles.
15 miles.
Jeez.
The worst I've ever felt in my life was a training hike of Mailbox. It was the old route. I had 40 pounds of weight in a backpack.
Yeah.
My problem is most people load with gallons of water. And when they get to the top, they pour the water out. Well, we had a sales guy here. He said, just do me one favor on these training routes, because he had done Rainier a number of times. He said, do not dump the water, because you need to train your legs to be able to carry that stuff back down.
Yes.
So I said, okay, well, I'm not going to take water. I'm going to take the chains from my wife's car that we use to go skiing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to throw tire chains off the top of Mailbox. When I got home, I fell asleep immediately, did not wake up until the next day, and I could not move. I could not move.
Right.
I mean, until noon. I'm sitting there rubbing my legs. I'm like, I can't get out of bed. Like, this is unbelievable. I mean, it was horrible. I could not believe that you could physically do that to yourself. It sucked. I'll never see that place again. More of the Random Would You Rather question coming up, 206-803.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Ever walked past a place for rent and wish you could just peek inside? Maybe even explore the layout? Envision the natural light streaming through the windows? Or plan where your vinyl record collection would go? At Apartments.com, you can. With tools like their 3D virtual tours, you can see the exact unit you'd be living in. Really envision yourself in your new home with Apartments.com. The place to find a place.
Rock.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Who's next? Let's count up at 4:30. In the meantime, it is our random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Drew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola. Drew, welcome to the program. And the random Would You Rather question. Here is a weird one, but it pertains to the two stories. Would you rather be driving down the road at 60 miles an hour and crash your car into 11 cows? Okay? Or take a fastball to the face?
I've already done that one.
Okay.
I'll take the cows.
You're going to take the risk of the cows. Now,
I'm
keep
taking
in
the
mind,
cows all day.
the cows can come through your windshield.
They can.
Very easily. There's 11 of them. You are hitting 11 cows with your car.
Mm-hmm.
Your car's going to be totaled.
That's fine.
Number one. So the car's gone. The question is, how bad off are you going to be in that wreck?
I don't know. But either way, I have a car for some protection. And yes, I'm going to get messed up. A fastball to the face, my protection is my skin. Like, that is a failure.
How much does a cow weigh? What's your average cow? I don't know.
1,600 pounds?
1,600. You Googling that, Mike?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
But you're going to hit 11 of them. 11. Okay?
They're saying about 1,100 pounds.
1,100
I
pounds.
have a story.
Okay.
Did you hit a
About
cow?
hitting cows?
No. Baseball,
Okay.
leaving a game early, and food at the park.
And what happened?
Okay, so...
Are we supposed to guess the story?
Oh, no. So, I was working freight at the time, and it was bobblehead night, dual bobblehead night, Randy Johnson, Dan Wilson.
Great night.
I'm working freight. It's an afternoon game or whatever, so I just want to go there and get the bobblehead, right? So, me, my ex-wife, my buddy, we drive up there to get the bobbleheads and to have Ivers fish and chips. I love Ivers fish and chips at Safeco Field. So we go there, we get the Ivers fish and chips, our bobbleheads, and we're in left center field, and we're just eating our Ivers. And this older lady's walking by while they're having batting practice, and she gets hit in the head with a baseball.
Oh, did she drop?
A home run. Oh, she did, right in front of our little picnic table that we had. You know how they have, random little picnic tables?
Yeah.
Dropped right in front of us. I was just like, security. And then everyone came rushing over. There was blood, all on the concrete. And
we just ate our fish and chips and then drove back home. I just wanted those dual head bobbleheads.
So you watched the game?
We didn't even stay for the first inning.
You literally showed up to get some fish and chips, some bobbleheads, watch a lady drop bloody to the ground, and roll the hell out.
Because I had to work at midnight. Yes, sir.
All right.
It was
all right.
It was the Hall of Fame dual bobblehead night. I still got it in my trophy case.
Okay. Hopefully there's no blood on it. Yeah, she dropped. Security.
Reason we asked, would you rather crash into 11 cows with your car or take a fastball to the face? Now, in this instance, it was not a car. It was a semi-truck.
Well, he wins.
So the Minnesota State Patrol is investigating how multiple cows ended up on a highway in Fillmore County. They were later struck by a semi. According to the State Patrol, incident unfolded at 4:26 a.m. in the morning when the semi was traveling west. And then, unexpectedly, collided with the 11 cows that were on the road. 10 bovines were killed. 1 survived with injuries. The driver of the semi, a 52-year-old man, he sustained non-life-threatening injuries, but he was taken to the hospital.
Sure.
Immediately. At the moment, the State Patrol says they're not sure how the cows ended up on the highway, but they are investigating. Even though that guy was in a semi, he got messed up pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, 1,100 pounds each, and you hit 11 of them.
Mm-hmm. Now we,
yeah, I mean, a fastball off your eye, though, off your face.
Nope.
I mean, it can destroy your auricle, like your eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough.
Now we head down to T-Mobile for the game that you guys were at last night.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle Mariners pitcher George Kirby was hit by a 102-mile-per-hour line drive to the face.
Yep.
Last night, walked off the field apparently like it was nothing. He even said after the game it didn't hurt. Did you guys see this?
Yes, we did. We saw the play, and we're behind him. But you could tell it hit him in the face, and my son said, man, is he all right? I said, he's not, but he's going to tell everyone he is, because that's what athletes do.
Yeah. Incident occurred top of the 5th, and the game with the Orioles last night. Orioles third baseman, Raymond Urias, he's a bat with a 1-2 count. He rips the comebacker that ricocheted right off the All-Star's face. Making the scene even more incredible, the ball bounced directly to first baseman Rowdy Tellez, who made the final out of the inning.
Yes. I mean, honestly, that's how it played out.
Now, George Kirby never went down, just casually walked off the field, stretched his jaw with a trickle of blood streaming down his chin, then goes into the dugout. I didn't even see it coming, he said. I just put my hand up. I'm just glad it kind of missed any of the bad spots on my face. Kirby left the game after the line drive, but he was more than likely done anyway. That was his 95th pitch of the game.
Oh, damn.
And that's the most he's thrown. So
really?
He was probably coming out at the ending no matter what.
Just get hit in the face first.
Dan Wilson, the manager, he was not quite so flippant when talking about the situation. He said, look, Kirby's going to go, he's going to get evaluated before stepping back on the field again. A lot of the times, the adrenaline is so much.
Yeah, always.
That you don't understand what you're going through. He said because you just got that adrenaline at the same time. But we're just glad and happy that he seems to be okay. And it could have been something way worse.
It could have been a lot worse, man. I mean, it was just, you hear the crack.
Was that one of those, ooh?
Yeah, because, you're watching the game, and the way I perceived it, you heard the crack of the bat, and then you saw the ball kind of ricochet off of his face. But it's just so fast.
Yeah.
66 feet to home plate or something like that?
60 feet, 6 inches.
So at 102 miles an hour, that covers ground pretty quickly, man. So it's like you see him swing, you hear the crack, and I mean, at the time you hear the crack, the ball's ricocheting off of his head. But they got the out. So it's kind of weird because I'm like, oh, man, damn it. I still want to get the base hit, but that's just me.
I think I'm taking the cows.
I am too.
Because also it depends on where, he's right. Depends on where you hit you in the face. I mean,
he managed to get his glove up, so ricocheted a little bit off the glove.
Right? I just watched it, an awful incident we watched in person years ago, and that guy took that line drive, and he turned his head and hit him in the back of the head. I mean, he was messed up. Luckily, I don't have to name the guy, but the guy paid all the medical bills and everything. But
yeah.
I ran into him just a year and a half ago and brought it up.
So you ran into the baseball player that hit the ball?
The athlete, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And he was because when I threw out the first pitch a few years ago at the Aqua Sox game, they were like, hey, do you remember? And I go, yeah. And they were like, and I met the guy was there. He's like, oh, I was messed up. And he was like, that dude paid the bills, showed up, visited me.
Yeah, there's no ill intent.
I mean, so he was there, but he was eventually going to be a Mariner.
No. This guy's already retired.
Oh, okay.
But he was a professional in another sport and played college ball. So he knows what he's doing.
Right.
And and somebody was kind of joking around. They were like, go ahead, rip one. He hits a line drive. And that poor kid, I mean, when that hit his head, I mean, that ball.
Did you hear it?
Yes. It rolled almost back to the plate. And and that guy was messed up. He's fine now.
Sure.
Everybody involved's good, but
at the time.
Right, so that's why, and credit to Miles. Miles said 3 weeks leading up to that, L screen. We don't need an L screen. We needed the L screen, right, to protect the pitchers.
Well, you do. Also, this kid was just, he was just up there throwing like in a charity game or something.
Correct. He was just throwing like
against
BP.
a professional athlete.
Right, and everybody was kind of chirping him, so he was like, all right. And he was like, all right. And everybody's like, hit it, dude. He's like, all right, pump one a little faster down the middle. Obviously, the pro athlete who played college baseball, too, was like, all right. And I mean, was
this a metal bat or a wooden bat?
I think they were playing with metal bats.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. When I ran into him and brought it up, he didn't, and he was like, oh, I remember. And he's like,
yes.
He was, I mean, to the point, like, I don't think that guy would ever do an event like we had him do again.
That's why softball's so dangerous. And I know the softball is softer, and I know it's bigger.
It'll still
but
F you up.
The pitcher is closer. The bases are closer. The third baseman, the first baseman. There's three very dangerous. You think the shortstop's getting a lot of action?
Right.
That's not dangerous. That's just stupid if you're going to step in there.
And when you watch those men and women that play like that high level slow pitch, they're good enough that they never hit it back at the pitcher. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But you take a group of us and go.
We don't know.
I
don't make contact.
I can hit the ball. I don't even know if I can't. Like I might hit it back up the middle.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, what was that? Somebody when we had that foul balls team, I don't know.
Somebody almost killed Toppy.
Top Shelf almost got killed
I have
once
never
pitching.
seen Top Shelf move this fast, right? He was not known for being like fleet of foot, right? That's just not what you think. And
Toppy,
and he's always stoned and all this, but he's pitching, and I don't remember who hit it, but I mean, this thing, it was like a laser beam, and I cannot explain how fast Toppy's hand was in front of his face and caught the ball. And I think even Toppy was like, I did not know I could move that
For the
fast.
most part, we were playing. We are not an organized softball team. We had one.
Right, we had a
But
team.
we were playing organized softball teams.
Correct.
So we were playing guys that play, that are on
tell.
teams, that compete. So we were just out there for fun, but these guys could play most of the time.
Correct.
Yeah, whoever we played against, they were a legitimate softball team.
And it
There was
showed.
no hope of us winning the game. Just the idea of being able to go out and play for fun. But I'm telling you what, it's dangerous.
That's why I was so happy when that ended because I was the only one playing third base. It's like everybody else was going to get hurt. I was like, well, I'm tired of sitting on this corner every time I get now.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, they were good enough not to hit it up the middle.
Right.
They didn't mind ripping shots down at me.
Right. Yeah. Well, so I had this buddy, and he ended up playing. He ended up playing in the pros. So he made it to the major league level. But when we were in high school, we were on opposing high schools.
All right.
But we grew up together, and we were best friends growing up. So we know each other very, very, very well. And I was not pitching that day, but Ravi was. So, and it's a big game. You know, it's toward the end of the year. This is when the two teams that are in the same town with two different high schools play each other. This is
it's gonna be a big
This
deal.
is the Apple Cup of my baseball world.
All right.
This you're playing against guys you grew up with, your friends, but they went to this school and you suck because you went to that school, blah, blah, blah. So Ravi calls me the night before the game, and he goes, "Hey, man, I just want you to know, if the situation calls for it, and we are not in a situation where it matters, I am throwing the ball as hard as I can at your head."
He told you this.
Yes. And I was like, Ravi, you can't do that, man. Ravi threw in the 90s.
Oh.
I was like, dude, please, seriously, man. You just don't, I mean, come on, man. You know, like, don't do that to me. Even if I was pitching, I could dunk him with a 75-mile-an-hour fastball.
And that's your best.
Maybe.
Right?
I mean, we didn't have a gun then, but, you know, but he was gunned when he went to college. I know damn well what he threw. But, man, so I step into the box, and he just starts smiling. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no, man. Oh, no. So, first pitch, fastball, behind my head high. And the catcher could not catch the ball. Ravi's also pitching from the windup. There's nobody on base.
Right.
Okay? So he doesn't really need to care about holding the runner. He's just slinging back and just absolutely firing this ball. It goes behind my head. Catcher can't even catch the ball.
Right.
Calls timeout. You know what I mean? And he's just kind of looking around. I'm on the ground. I'm up. I'm like, I'm good. He was trying to figure out if I got hit in the back of the head.
Okay, the umpire.
So I did not get hit. So I get back in the box again. This one is right at the chin. Number 2. Now the ump calls timeout again. And he's like, hey, pitcher. And so the coach comes running out from the Morgantown High team, right? And he goes out and he's talking to Ravi. Ravi's still smiling. This is pissing off the umpire a little bit. But I'm talking to my coach, and I'm like, he told me he's going to throw me, man. I just don't think he's going to throw my head. And he's like, listen, he's like, I tell you what I want. Here's what I want you to do.
Just take it.
He said, I want you to square around and I want you to bunt.
Okay.
He said, you're never going to hit him. He said, you just square around and you just bunt. So I squared around, and this ball is coming right at me, man. Again, I dive out. This is 3 balls in a row, all right? So it's now 3-0 on the count. Next pitch, Ravi throws straight gas, high fastball. I ignore the bunt sign. I swing. I mean, I'm not even close.
Right.
Second pitch, same deal. Now Ravi's just laughing his ass off. Now the count is full. All right? So it was 3-0. I should have watched the 2 go by, but I didn't. They both would have been strikes anyway. The final pitch, full count. Ravi had a breaking ball like you'd never seen in your life. This thing is coming at the back of my head. All right.
Don't tell me.
I fall back.
Dive out of that box.
I dive out of that box. That ball breaks down off of a cliff. The catcher didn't even move his glove. Thump. I'm just like, you ass. Like, he set me up. He could have hit me. Very well could have hit me if I didn't get out of the way. But he just set me up to screw with my head so bad. And then he threw this breaking ball that was just absolutely embarrassing.
And you dove.
And both dugouts were laughing their ass off.
Oh, God.
I mean, both. The game was out of reach. It didn't really matter. We're not going to win the game at that point. I think we're like 6-1 or something.
Right.
But I mean, just the idea of, I really thought he was going to kill me. I've never felt that much fear in a sporting event. And sometimes in football, you look across, the guys are huge. And you look at the linebacker and you go, oh no, this guy's going to blitz. You can tolerate that.
Well, sure.
But not a fastball to hit.
Part of the play.
Because you don't realize how fast that thing's coming when someone is that good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it happens so much faster. It's like you can't even pick up your foot and that thing's there. Like you would have to actually time it out to start your swing.
As he's winding up.
As he's winding up almost. That's kind of how it felt. Just terrifying, man.
Yeah, that's one thing. My son was very impressed with just how fast everyone can throw the ball. You know, the guy from center field throws it to home. You know, it's like, oh my God. I said, dude, that is why they are professional players.
Well, listen,
people like you and me, we can't do that. They can, and when it shows, it shows.
I have a buddy, right? His son pitched for UW, right? Isaac Gager. Right? He's 6'5", big boy, right? Just gasses the ball. So somebody, and I'm friends with his dad through another guy, and somebody I was drinking with, or they were spouting off, and I was like, "Oh, you all right? Like you can hit 90?" I was like, "I'll bring Isaac over here. We'll go to a field.
All right.
He pops 90. You might see him playing in the minor league."
Why did these guys think they could hit that? Did they play in high school?
They played in high school or something.
I'd be afraid to get in the box.
And I was like, "Dude, we'll set it up. Let him pump some balls." Like there's no way you won't even foul. They were like, "I can foul it off." And I'm with Miles. I said, "He's 6'5". I said, when he toes that rubber, you're going to S your pants. Seriously. Yeah. I watched him play 3 games this year, and I was like, my God, that boy is scary.
Did you actually set it up?
No, they bitched out.
Yeah, I think they should.
Well, so it was 3-0. His first strike was technically a slider. So he was kind of coming in at my groin.
Right.
And then it just broke right in. I'm like, And then the other one was kind of like basically just threw a split, but he threw it high. So I thought the ball was going to be high. And then the ball dropped down for another strike.
Right.
So he threw a split at me, which I was like, oh, high out strike. Jesus Christ. And it just dropped off the table. That curveball, man. I mean, it was behind my head. It was behind my head. It still was probably 82 miles an hour.
Right.
It was still fast. And then all of a sudden, I just see it coming right in my face. And I'm like, oh, no. And I dropped my bat, and I fell back. And I look up, and the catcher hadn't even moved. And he's just looking at me, and the ump's looking down at me. Get the hell out of here.
You got to wear that one, Montgomery, if it doesn't break.
Christ. Oh, I didn't live that one down forever.
Yeah.
Who's Next Last is coming up at 4:30. And we got your emails coming up next to the men's room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Ever walked past a place for rent and wish you could just peek inside? Maybe even explore the layout? Envision the natural light streaming through the windows? Or plan where your vinyl record collection would go? At Apartments.com, you can. With tools like their 3D virtual tours, you can see the exact unit you'd be living in. Really envision yourself in your new home with Apartments.com. The place to find a place.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Who Talks Last countdown at 4:30. First time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Our birthday is brought to us by our friends at Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
Hell yeah.
Jesus, you almost got me.
Gentlemen, today is my granddaughter Raylan Jane's, a.k.a. Sweet Baby Ray's, 7th birthday. The funniest, smartest, and snarkiest 7-year-old I know. She has a very kind heart and an amazing sense of humor. And since she lives in Eastern Washington, I'm not going to see her on her special day, but I'm hoping she can hear this on the Odyssey app. So how about an OG barbershop quartet, a little kid fish sandwich, some dad jokes from Miles, and if Mickey and Goofy have time, she would love to hear a shout-out from them, too. Happy birthday, Sissy. Grandma B loves you so much to the moon and beyond. Thanks, guys, and stay beautiful. That from our buddy, the Ginger Midget.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Well, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Fish sandwich!
I don't know if these are appropriate, but it's jokes I got. Guys, if Russia attacked Turkey from the rear, do you think Greece would help?
Wouldn't that be a stuffing?
Yes. If A is for airplanes and B is for boats, what is C for?
Canoes.
It's an explosive.
What is C for?
Yes. And finally, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Amos.
Amos who?
A mosquito. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Anna.
Anna who?
Another mosquito. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yeti.
Yeti who?
Yeti, another mosquito. And knock, knock.
Who's there?
Helen.
Helen who?
Helen, another mosquito, yes.
Well, guys, first of all, happy 7th birthday. Hope we can see you down in the world for your special day. But do yourself a favor and ask your grandma what the B stands for.
I think we all know that one. If you're 7, you know what that means. Ice cream all day. Ice cream for lunch. Ice cream for dinner. Ice cream before you go to bed. Your parents won't mind.
And all you naked ladies want to give a birthday shout out to my 4'10" Puerto Rican friend Victoria. Can she get a little kid fish sandwich? Dirty Germans telling her what they will do to her on her birthday, and the captain telling the story of what happened on his last trip to Puerto Rico. That from the JJG, president of the Ted Smith Fan Club, Texas chapter.
Fish challenge.
Yeah, if you're 4'10", I will simply step on the first rung of a ladder and undo my pants. What you do next is up to you.
Yeah, you know, it's that close. I think I might have to illegally cross your Via Grande.
Ooh, well, ahoy there, all 4 feet and 10 inches of you. You know, me and the mascots used to go to Puerto Rico quite often, specifically go to San Juan, which means St. John, which oddly enough is what we call Chester Cheetah, because he loves prostitutes and that makes him a John. He was arrested, by the way, on prostitution-related charges. Well, that and peddling cheetah porn. Now, look, I'm no prude, but cheetahs are into some stuff. Crunch berries.
Guys, love the show. Maybe too late, but I'm turning 40 today. Can I get some Dirty Germans? Thanks, guys. That from Mike.
Yeah, you can get plenty of Dirty Germans. That's how we do it, at least 9 of us.
Yeah, and together you can have 40 ounces of Dirty German all over you.
Yeah, you look like you got tackled at an egg drop soup factory. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. But y'all want to send a very happy late 50s birthday shout out to my best friend, my wife, Gina. Our marriage over the past 15 years and our partnership over the last 18 have proven that she is most likely my guardian angel. I'm sure I'd be in an early grave if it were not for her. So thank you, Gina. Can you please give her a penis is too small, a cut that bitch off, and the Dirty Germans telling us how she's got me digging holes in the yard to plant new plants for her birthday, since plants seem to make her happy. Thanks, guys. That from Nick.
The penis is too small.
Cut that bitch off! Nick Culver.
Yeah, I like this vagina that you're married to. I don't know why you say you're digging holes. Usually you just use a little, like Miles said, a little grease.
Yeah. So, you know, I like to look for holes in the backyard, the front yard. Wherever there's a hole, I like to fill it.
Yeah. What kinds of plants does she like? Does she like the penis flytrap?
Yeah, zucchini.
And finally, for the birthdays, Micholos, I'm starting my 59th trip around the sun to mark this momentous occasion. Can I get the entire air staff? Jesus Christ. No. Can I get you guys to say liquor and whores, followed by some green beans, and the Dirty Germans saying danger bacon. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. That from Jim in Maple Valley. Liquor and whores.
Yeah, instead of saying danger bacon, I will say it in German. My penis.
Yeah, it's the danger bacon?
Yeah. I'm sorry, mein penis.
Nein.
Green bean.
What? Green bean.
Okay.
Green bean.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefly.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less?
Yay, time for Who Sucks Last. Stephen Throhill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck. It is up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Facebook, X, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, and there's definitely a theme to all 3 of the stories today. You know, we talk about a lot of different things on this program. One thing we rarely cover prosthetics. So let's change that with who sucks less. Let us begin in the United Kingdom, where video from the UK captures the moment a one-armed man hopping on one leg and swinging his prosthetic leg at his opponent. Then the opponent snatches the leg and uses it to club his disabled foe. You follow me? So there's a guy hopping around on one leg, but he is holding his own prosthetic leg. But he is swinging this thing around because he's having a confrontation from a fully able-bodied individual. He says, quote, "I haven't got no effing leg on, you pea." That's what the man shouts after his leg dropped out of his sweatpants. He continues to speak, "I got my leg on. Let me stand up on two legs." But he loses control over the leg because he's now tussling with his opponent, who snatches it from him and starts swinging like a baseball bat at the man who is now on one leg. At one point, a woman living in the complex, this happened at an apartment, she hears it. She yells down, "You beat disabled people up. The police are on the way." Meanwhile, the guy with one leg, who was trying to assault the other able-bodied guy with his prosthetic leg, says, "You hit me around the head with my false leg. You pee." He is believed to have lost a limb in a train accident. Either way, both of them were arrested at the end until cooler heads could prevail.
Jesus.
So we don't know what their confrontation was. But the guy's leg fell out of his sweatpants. His opponent then grabs it. They tussle. And then his opponent now takes his prosthetic leg and commences to beating him with it. We now go to New Orleans, Louisiana. Where a woman, she used her ex-boyfriend's prosthetic leg to beat him up after a night of drinking and a breakup. This one's a little different. So Michelle Jackson, she was arrested and booked with aggravated battery. So the two began drinking, and then at some point, the victim told Jackson that he wanted to date someone else. The man later went to sleep, but he woke up early the next morning with a large cut on his head, and it was dripping with blood, and his hand was also injured. Well, she told a relative that she took the victim's prosthetic leg and beat him with it. She was admitted to stabbing him, although he did not have any stab wounds. Now, she left before the police arrived. They said that she called the relative and a friend because she thought she'd actually killed him. All right, so she beats him with his prosthetic, thinks he's dead. He wasn't dead. Anyway, he was just hammered. That's why he slept through it. Well, the U.S. Marshals eventually tracked her down at her house and booked her to the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center, being held without bond. So they get drunk. He says he wants to date someone else. She waits for him to pass out, pulls his leg off, beats him with it. And now we go to Michigan, where police there, they were called about a domestic disturbance. Now, the victim, who wears a prosthetic leg, reported that he and his girlfriend had been drinking beer and began arguing about an incident that had occurred 4 years ago. Anyway, the argument escalated, and eventually the woman seized the man's spare leg and began to beat him with it, okay? So he still had his actual prosthetic leg on, but he has a backup. So she grabbed the backup. Now, the relatively good news was that the spare, as they say, was an older wooden model, not the modern titanium leg that the man was actually wearing. Also, since he was wearing his other leg, he was able to flee to the front yard, although he was still flight impaired. And so the woman was able to pursue him and continued to beat him with his own wooden leg. Now, she fled with the leg after a witness called police. A woman was later arrested and charged with larceny for stealing his leg and assault with a dangerous weapon for using said leg to beat him. And at the time that this went to press, the leg had not been recovered. Wow. So those are your three stories. You go to the UK, where a guy gets into a fight with another dude. His prosthetic leg falls off, essentially, during the tussle. They fight over the leg. The guy that he was confronting then takes his leg and starts beating him with it. We have the situation in New Orleans, where a guy said he wanted to date someone else, so his girlfriend waited for him to pass out, took his prosthetic leg, and beat him while he was asleep. And then finally in Michigan, where the guy had both of his legs on, but he happened to have a spare wooden one. She grabbed the spare wooden one and beat him with that, both inside and outside of the house. Wow.
None of them died.
None of them died. You know, the worst injury was probably the middle guy, the guy that woke up bleeding from his head, but still, they said it's more or less superficial wounds. He was cut, but not really injured. And with the first guy, the problem is we don't know who started or what the fight was about. It's just two dudes.
In an apartment complex.
In an apartment complex.
So they're probably sober.
Probably.
Or maybe. The
I don't know.
potential's there.
I mean, look, guys are going to fight, but we don't know who instigated what. So that one, a little more up in the air for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, right. The UK one, I'm glad you said that. That was going to be my question. Like, well, did prosthetic legs guy start it?
I don't know. And I searched around for it.
If they're two dudes and they're standing up, you don't know maybe that he has a prosthetic leg.
Sure, he's wearing sweatpants.
Or maybe you do. But either way, once it falls off, then you go, whoa, hey, wait a minute, hold on. You don't...
No, they fought over it. And
then he took it and he beat him with it.
Yeah.
So in this case, you got two guys. So the one separator in all these stories is it was girlfriends, wives, whatever, beating up their boyfriends.
Correct.
Now, I'm not saying that that's okay. But in this instance, you have two grown men going at it.
Right.
It's not a domestic. They're just getting into a fight. Now, the one guy knows the guy doesn't have his leg because he's beating him with it.
And, well, he even says, let me put my leg back on. Basically, give me two legs to fight. Another guy like, nah.
So
I don't blame that guy. The guy hitting him. Like, if we start a fight and then your leg falls off, like, sorry, maybe you shouldn't be involved in a fight.
Don't pick a fight then. Right?
Okay. But I still don't think it's fair. I think you say, like, look.
I mean, it's not.
But if you're going to, again, I don't know who instigated this fight. So that's part of the issue, right? If the other guy instigated the fight, I'd say he sucks the most. If one-legged dude instigated the fight and your leg falls off, like Ted said, like, then maybe don't pick fights, man. If you're going to get to the point that you're physically going to confront someone, it's like it's not about whether or not it's fair. Look, man, I've been in fights with the guy beat my ass. So in theory, it was not fair because he could beat my ass, but that's what happens in a fight. You know, you find out.
Yeah, I mean.
But again, for me, it really depends who instigated. But based on the mouth of the one-legged guy, at least the little quotes that we have from the guy with one leg, he reminds me of Bagel Guy.
Like he's kind
of okay. So he is that guy.
I don't.
So
know
he
if
might deserve to get his ass beat.
It's just the quotes, but again, there's no context, so it's hard to know. Because anyone that's been in a fight, if they take a quote that you said during that fight out of context, no matter what, you sound like the bad guy, right?
The one woman thought that she actually killed her boyfriend.
She did. That's why she called a relative. And he ended up being fine. I mean, he got his head cut, but he's like, dude, I was passed the hell out. That's why. So I didn't wake up.
That's
during
the
the
thing
beat.
too. He broke up with her, and then she beat him.
And stabbed him, according to her. He can't find the stab wound, but I don't know why you'd add that on if he didn't.
I mean, I think that one's probably the worst.
I would agree.
Right? Because, like, at the end of the day, like, breaking up is never fun. People get emotional, but you can't.
He's
like,
passed out.
Right. That doesn't give her an excuse to just beat him up and stab him.
No. And again, he's not even awake to defend himself. You know, dude's face down in a bed.
Right. And the woman in Michigan, again, not saying it's okay, but I'm like, all right, they're both drinking, they're hammered.
Oh, they were hammered. Oh, yeah.
She kind of brought up the argument, leads it, they're both physical.
Then stole the leg.
She stole the leg, used it
But
as
it was a spare.
It was his spare.
I think that situation sucks the least.
Why? Because it was a spare leg?
Well, because they were both drunk.
Yes.
She used a spare.
And it was the wooden one, not
she
the
ran
titanium
away.
one. No, he ran away.
Oh, he ran away.
Yeah, he ran outside to call the cops. Because they point out, because he had his titanium leg on, he was able to run outside and call the cops, but he still can't outrun her, right? So she comes flying out of the house. You know, he's trying to get away, and that wasn't happening. She's taking that
I still think that scenario sucks the least.
See, I think the guy in the UK sucks the least.
UK guy. Which guy was that?
That's
the two people fighting in the apartment.
Yeah.
Right, that seems like they were straight up getting into a fight, and the one guy, his leg fell off, and then he was like, oh, you're going to let me get my leg? Like, no, like it's a street fight. Like, if you trip throwing a punch, I'm not going to wait for you to stand up.
That's true, right?
Like, I probably, you know what I mean?
If it's a sanctioned fight, yes, there are rules. If it's a street fight, like, hey, man.
Right, and like, I know we've disagreed for a while about this, but like, I'm in the theory of you're in a street fight, like, it's a street fight. Yeah. Pretty much almost anything goes. So, like, his leg falls off. I kind of like
Game on.
I kind of like this chap.
Now you got an advantage.
Like, that's my leg now, and you are in trouble. You know what I mean? Maybe you shouldn't be talking all that ass with one leg, you dumbass.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Last. If you like KISW on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Shot of the Day's coming up at 5:08. You're listening to The Men's Room.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up to 5:08, we'll drink a toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, a quick check out with Mike Hogg and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. A high school in Texas is creating an AI detecting app to help teachers.
I wonder if it's powered by AI.
You're right. Again, we should start incorporating different AI classes in education, in my opinion. However, comprehension is still a very important thing that these kids do need to know.
Absolutely, man. And I get it. They just want to skate out on the homework or whatever.
We all did.
Of course. If I had AI, look, I would have used it as much as possible.
Correct.
But I think teachers kind of... Most of the teachers I talk to that have dealt with my kids, they know your kid. They know their styles and all that kind of thing. And even when your kid really steps up and does something great academically, typically they still know if they're using words that kid, knows or just... Right. I think most teachers, I don't even know that they really need it.
No.
I think most teachers are like, look, bro, I know this is AI. Or if it's not AI, I know you didn't write this, Billy.
But again, it kind of goes back to the calculator problem. You're not going to be walking around with a calculator in your pocket. Right.
Yes, we are.
But there's a reason why we started using calculators in the upper levels of classes, because then we already knew how to do the math to a degree.
You just want to speed up the process.
The calculator's quicker. All right.
Yeah.
AI. As long as they understand what it is that they're supposed to be talking about, or whatever reason they have for using the AI, as long as they comprehend what it is that is going to be on there,
I agree.
Who cares that AI gets used?
Yeah, comprehension is the main thing out of school.
Absolutely.
Right?
I feel like my teachers could tell if I had used... Did you ever use Cliff Notes?
Absolutely.
I missed Cliff Notes, man.
All right. Well, I know we did. I was looking at it. I was like, wonder if Mike's a little bit younger.
I think they were still available. They were still out there, but I don't believe I ever had Cliff Notes.
And Thrill's right. Like, I just feel like teachers know your kids. Like, I feel like a couple times it was like, stay after class. Like, man, that was a good one, right? And it's like, did you use Cliff Notes? No.
Liar.
I know you did. All right, I did.
Because the teacher, we know the Cliff Notes. This is exactly what they say, right? There's nothing. Your answer is strictly what the Cliff Notes said.
Physicists have created the world's smallest violin using nanotechnology.
Oh, really?
Oh, let's play one for him.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not just a joke anymore.
Nope.
So who's going to play this?
Billy Shrinks.
I mean, it's great that you did it, but again,
somebody will.
And now what?
This will end up in the Guinness World Records within the next 10
someone
years.
actually played
that
it.
Somebody played the world's smallest violin. There's a new theory that the universe started out inside of a black hole bouncing from a larger planet universe.
That theory's been around for a long ass time.
It has. We still don't know, y'all.
Yeah, hell no. I mean, that's the basic way of saying it. Yeah, we don't know.
That's part of the human experience is
we're spitballing.
Fathoming what it is that we do there.
Yeah.
Where that came from.
I don't know a lot about space, but that seems reasonable.
Right. It's something that could happen.
I mean, essentially, space, the universe around you, it is existence. So however it started, who knows?
Exactly.
I don't think you're ever really going to figure that out.
Until we do, everything's on the table.
What if it's a letdown? You know what I mean? Like you go to we have figured out, the time loop, all this stuff, the universe existence, and it's just some disappointing answer. Turns out that we are the dung of a much larger. And
we're a lizard fart that eventually evolved.
We think we're a big deal, but to the lizard, we're a fart bubble.
Right.
I mean, what if this is purgatory?
There's been a lot of conversation about that between the wife and I, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what if the aliens are just like, I don't know, put them on Earth for 60-some years.
Right. Let them hash this out.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be messed up? Like, oh, hey, listen, man. Humans were just troublesome to everybody. We dropped your ass off on this water. Like, we gave you what you needed.
We're the prison planet?
It's not even prison, it's almost like detention. Like, man, nobody wanted to be around.
We're the Australia of the universe.
Yeah, so we just kind of put you on the planet.
Again, on the podcast, and there's a brand new episode out today, we talk about it all the time. I was like, I think they've been here, and they're just like, oh, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try again in a few thousand years.
One of my favorites, aliens drive by Earth and lock their doors. Oh, damn. The Washington Post is planning to let amateur writers submit columns in the with the help of AI. Then why do you need amateur writers?
I was going to say, but
just use the AI.
Is that helping the amateur writers get better at writing?
I can't imagine so.
Right? I mean,
they're not doing the writing.
Because that means you do the bullet points, you feed it in AI. And
correct. And I'm assuming here that they're not covering any news stories. They're covering more articles and op-eds and editorials and whatnot. So at that point, you're not looking for journalists. You're looking for people with what do people care about enough to make an article on it.
Right. That's a good point, yeah.
I think we're getting to a weird, dangerous time in my mind, too, right? Like,
I agree.
Everything in your history is not great, but you need to know it, right? I mean, you start rewriting history even if we don't write stuff down at a certain point, it's like, well, technology still needs power cords.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Still needs power. And that's the big thing with AI, just how much energy it actually uses.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Like, why don't you have AI solve that problem? Like, man, this is an energy drain. Like, well, then maybe get AI to figure out a way to, that would be a good purpose for it.
Right. All the things we know now of wars and famines and all these horrible things, nothing scares me more than lights going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not alone on that. People freak out quick.
New infrared contact lenses are in development that allow people to see in the dark, even with their eyes closed.
Crazy. Miles and I chuckled about this because, like we said, I understand what they're saying.
Trying to sleep, damn it.
The more accurate statement would probably be to be made available to the public.
So, Green Beret.
There's very few things, that just show up that's like that.
Special
that's not
forces.
already being used.
So they got a better one.
Right.
That's right.
That's all it is. So they've got a better one now that you don't know about.
That's
but
right.
They've been
So
using
you can
this
use these,
for years.
Yeah. And staring at you on the street.
There's no way they just allow that to the general public. Like, here,
No.
stalk someone in the dark.
No.
You don't think you could find? I bet you could buy night vision goggles right now.
You can buy
They're probably
night
like $500.
But remember, the military is using them before they were made available to the public. So,
correct.
Talking to a guy from NASA, it's kind of funny. So, look, man, whatever big tech thing, AI is a little different, but he goes, generally tech gadgets that you can physically interact with, they've been around for 20 years. He's like, but when the military finally upgrades and has a significantly better version of it, then the public gets this. He was talking about like fax machines, all this crap. He's like, bro, they were around a long time before you ever even heard of them.
Apparently, your left and right brain hear language differently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. My right brain speaks Spanish.
Wouldn't that be something? They're talking to this here? Oh,
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, gotcha, man. Social media's obsession with muscles is fueling a new form of eating disorder.
What's that?
Basically, it's kind of a hyperfixation on fitness and building lean muscle.
Okay.
So, like with any eating disorder, whether it's obsessive eating or it is, you can't eat anything that is going to put any kind of weight on you. It's changing to the point of you need to eat super clean to be able to build bodybuilder style muscle. And there's
What's
a lot
the eating disorder called?
It was like MODE, I believe, is what it was. It was like muscular obsessed disordered eating or something like that.
So protein.
Yeah,
Right.
That's all it is.
You're
It's
eating
protein shakes, it's pre-workouts and stuff like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to look like a bodybuilder, you got to move giant weights.
And what they're saying is that social media and TikTok and whatnot, there's a lot of fitness influencers out there, and there's a lot of influencers that look very, very good on there to where it's getting the more lax public to be like, oh crap, I'm a fat POS because I've got 12% body fat.
Right. Which also, we got to stop that too.
100%.
Like I have some friends that do that, and I'm like, dude, you're not fat. Stop saying that. Because you know what I mean? Because there's people that are really dealing with stuff, and it's like, you're fine. You might be a couple pounds more than you want to be.
Yeah.
But you are not fat.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a different style of body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you with the big words.
Body dysmorphia. There's a new article about the anatomy of a smile and how to spot fake ones.
I think you can typically tell.
It comes down to, are they smiling with their eyes, is basically what I found with that article. You know, because the fake smile, they'll just, you know, they'll bring the corners of the mouth up, but those eyes are still dead. Or they're not paying attention, or they're clearly scorned. You can tell. I don't have much of a poker face when it comes to that, unfortunately.
Most people don't, because it's in the eyes.
Yeah.
You know, someone can not be smiling, just have their resting face, but you can communicate a lot with your eyes with a complete stranger real quick.
100%.
You know, and I mean, and it is understood.
Right. I know, VD. Have you guys ever used everything that you learned in school in your adult life?
No.
Everything?
Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
The closest I've come to geometry is when I'm playing pool, and apparently I'm not good at it.
There's some useless damn stuff that they taught you.
Like Shakespeare.
Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 completely useless things we were taught in school. In junior high, we had electives, classes that went toward your final grade but weren't required curriculum, like industrial arts class. You worked hands-on and built things and used table and band saws. The most useful thing I learned was by watching Vito Pellicano act like an asswipe while ripping a 2x8 on the table saw. Board got caught in the blade because he was busy showing off his douchebaggery. The board shot back at him, punched him in the chest, and broke his sternum. Don't worry, he lived.
That's great.
Awesome. Good work. So these are completely useless things that we were taught in school. They start with dissecting an animal. How to dissect an animal.
It was interesting from a biological standpoint, but it is not.
A plastic mold would have worked.
You know what? Actually, I will say that on rare occasions during my cooking career, it kind of came in handy.
Okay.
Actually, thinking back once, somebody, as a thank you from a group of local farmers, because that was kind of becoming a thing. This is like early 90s, all right? So they would bring us cheese and all that, but they became one of our purveyors. So as a thank you for kind of helping out their business, we were opening for the night. Our busboy comes running in. We said, hey, that delivery's coming in, man. Can you just deal with it? Sign for it. He goes, no problem. About 5 minutes later, he comes back and he goes, what do you want me to do with the pigs? So what are you talking about? It's like, hey, man, as a thank you, they dropped you 2 full-grown frozen solid pigs. Man, so we had them in this freezer for like a month because this is not part of our menu. We don't know.
What the hell do we do with this?
But we finally figured out a couple of specials, but they had not been gutted or anything, so we... And all of us basically reverted back to 7th grade biology to remove guts.
Make the incision here, get all this stuff out there.
It was weird.
Don't throw away the belly.
Is nobody else still dissecting animals?
When I was in school, we dissected an owl pellet. That's all we did.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I do it for fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I did both, right? We did frogs and little pigs in high school. But in grade school, we got to do those owl pellets.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
They're wild,
Fishing
man.
out those little skulls.
Yes, the little bones. It's wild.
Look at what he ate.
Completely useless things that we were taught in school. Balancing chemical equations. I can't say that I did that one in school.
I would argue that most people that do that create drugs.
That's probably
right. I mean,
bad.
seriously, there's a lot of guys that are creating
Yeah.
drugs, and you know, they are retaining
legal
that.
or not.
Yeah, legal or not, it comes into play.
I will say the main thing I remember from like experiments and stuff in class was wafting.
Wafting.
Oh yeah,
Kind of, you know, you don't want to put
stick
your nose
right
directly in there. They could be bad chemicals.
Gotcha. Okay. I dig it.
Yeah. So same thing. Somebody breaks out like, you know, mac and cheese or a pie. You don't need to put your nose right up next to it. Just kind of waft it over.
Yeah. Bring it to you.
Yeah.
The numbers that Miles never quite got, Roman numerals.
I mean, for the purposes of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty much the
I
only
don't
example
know
that they
any other Big Dummy and the Super Bowl, the only 2 times that Roman numerals come up in my life.
Right. I mean, I suppose if you're going through history, it helps in certain aspects.
Sure.
But that's your own conquests.
To me, it's interesting in the sense of humanity's trying to figure out a way to kind of just organize numbers, and you feel they realize that there's certain patterns that repeat. So I appreciate all that, but as far as writing anything, like nobody's going to do that, man.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, no, that's not true. Remember how they used to teach you how to do an outline?
I do.
Specifically Roman numerals, right?
Yeah. I thought for sure that was going to be a lot more of my life was building these doggone outlines, and it's not.
Because computers came along. I mean, that changed it all.
Criminy. But you know what? That does take us to sentence diagramming.
God, I hated sentence diagram. I don't even know if I remember what that is.
It says at some point in school, we were all forced to draw confusing branch-like structures to analyze sentences as if they were training to be linguistic archaeologists. Teacher made us diagram every noun, verb, conjunction, insisting that this skill was vital for understanding the English language.
He taught you what an adjective was, or an adverb, or those kind of things, pronouns.
But Schoolhouse Rock did it in 90 seconds.
Right.
Honest to God, I would say most of the academic stuff, not math, but academic stuff like that, I got from Schoolhouse Rock. So by the time you're in second grade, like, I know what a bill is. I know what a conjunction. I know what this is.
Well, how do you know? Because
Schoolhouse Rock, they told me. That's all I needed. They told me. And I go, oh.
That was part of my problem is when they did force me to show my work.
Boy,
here's the math problem, 2 + 2. Now show your work. The work is that 2 + 2 is 4, dude.
I did that. It was a whole freaking thing. And I will say this. We did get some clarity on that maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We were bitching about the idea because my kids are doing math homework. Like, man, they got to show the work, blah, blah, blah. Why? Either they get it right or wrong. And a teacher texted in, and it made so much sense. I said, look, man, we're not trying to torment your kids. It's that if they get it wrong, we want to see what step.
Okay.
Right? So if it's a long, they go, look, man, if they screw up from the beginning, they don't understand what the hell's going on.
Right.
But if it's like the 4th step, then we know, instead of just saying, hey, Billy, this is wrong.
Gotcha.
You can say, okay, this is where you have gone wrong. So, look, I bitched about it for like 53 years, but once they said that, I'm like, okay, I'm the idiot. That actually makes a great deal.
Need to find
Thank you for being the teacher.
Gotta find what the leak in the pipe is.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that's exactly it.
All right. The square dancing unit in gym class.
Jesus,
What's wrong
man.
with that?
It's stupid.
I don't believe there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everything.
You could break that out at a wedding.
Yeah. I love the
So
if
idea.
you got a partner.
Yeah. I'm sure the DJ's got some stuff.
Hell yeah.
Swing your partner around, pick him up and throw him on the
In
ground.
middle school, man.
no.
In middle school, they always did, the line dancing, and they'd teach us the hustle and
That'll come in
do
handy.
the hustle. Exactly.
I want kung fu fight.
But the thing is that at the end of the dance session, I think it was like a month long, there was always a dance at the end of it. And then during that gym class, they would give out tickets, free tickets to the kids that, showed that they were dancing really well. I got a ticket every damn year, man.
Oh, you were out there cutting the rug.
Right. I was cutting rugs.
I'm
out
with
there,
you.
baby.
We went through all that stuff.
Hell yeah, it was fun.
I feel like you're right too. There was like a recital or something. It's like, look at us. We could all swing dance.
Yeah. I learned boot, scoot, and boogie that year, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They
we're
played it
getting
all the
into
damn
that.
time. Here we go, do-si-do. It's fantastic.
The boot, scoot, and boogie.
The food pyramid. Again, these are completely useless things that we were taught in school.
I don't think it's even right anymore.
It's not.
It's changed.
It's one of those things that change, every 45 seconds. We're like, oh, it's wrong.
And it's not completely wrong is the whole thing. It's like, I think the servings changed and the combinations have changed.
Sure.
However, it's like, you still need to incorporate all of it. We've demonized a handful of different things that are in there, but you do still need all of it.
Yeah, you do.
It's like, quit your bitching. The Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah. It was handy at the library.
For computers.
Yep. And that's because even if you go to the library and you say, I'm looking for this book, they point to the computers like, hey, type it in our computer. It's exactly
I'll tell you where
it
it is. We used to have a floor, like the hundreds and the 200s on this floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like 7 stories, this crap.
My God.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in a library or bookstore, they're happy to see you. They'll help you out.
That's
Yeah,
true.
right.
You know what I mean? I can't imagine like the library, like a library being like, I don't know, dude. Look at the Dewey Decimal System.
They go with the Pythagorean theorem.
Ooh.
Anybody still remember it?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Nailed it, Miles.
And again, it depends what you choose. Like my brother uses it.
Sure.
But he's very specialized.
Right.
And
He's an
there's
astrophysicist.
Right, but like for the average person, like cool.
Right.
But it means nothing.
And he uses it as an NFL ref.
Yeah. Always. Yeah.
According to the Pythagorean theorem, cursive writing.
By the way, real quick, that would be awesome if your brother called a foul and it just was like, technically by the air, where the way the ball, the trajectory, that has to be pass interference, I don't want to hear it.
If we square...
I don't want to hear it. Say that to the crowd. I don't want to hear it.
Right. They go with cursive writing, which I feel like we only use cursive writing for one particular part in our lives.
Signature.
I mean, I still used it probably till about man, probably 2001, 2002. And honestly, when I got into radio, everybody was printing.
Everybody
So I
prints.
went back to
I've read
printing.
So one of the things we heard recently is as younger generations take over jobs, is it the not the National Historic Society or whatever, but all these federal papers from way back in the day, and they realized a lot of kids, young adults, they can't read what's on the paper because it was all cursive.
Mm-hmm. And every birthday card from your grandma.
Right, God almighty. Yeah, that's the one.
Dude, I still say the craziest thing. My mom can read and write in shorthand.
Wow.
Oh, God.
What's like a
So
court
can mine. I mean, she was a secretary forever.
Oh, right. That'll do it.
That was a big part of it.
And then they end with this last completely useless thing that we were taught in schools, and it was early on in elementary school, and you tore up your parents' eardrums with it, learning that damn recorder.
Why do you give children that instrument? It is the most shrill instrument on the face of this planet.
Because
so you
it's
take
simple.
kids that have never played instruments
Because it's cheap.
blow into this.
You can
It
buy
is.
30 of them.
It's got
God.
10 holes, and you blow into
Teach
it.
them the xylophone or something. You know, that thing is so awful. It is so awful.
A woman on vacation in Greece had a very negative review of her hotel, Miles.
What was the problem there?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming at 5:50. In the meantime, we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we chose country singer and songwriter. I've never heard of her. Maybe you guys have. Ella Langley.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I Googled her. She is
That is
very
a
easy on the eye.
Beautiful woman.
She
yes.
is stunning. I'd never heard of her before today.
My wife is about to leave me for her.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame her.
Oh, she is.
Oh, yeah.
I would leave me for her.
Yeah, she's walking out on me for her.
She is, yeah. Anyway, Ella Langley, now she's currently supporting Riley Green on his Damn Country Music Tour. And
Yes,
to
she
be
is.
clear, I am not insulting country music. The actual name of the tour is the Damn Country Music Tour. Anyway, Ella was on stage the other night and gave a shout out to Hudson Westbrook, who had opened the set. Said, hey, man, thank you for coming out here and starting the show. The crowd roared, and it was all good. Except that Hudson Westbrook did not perform. A guy named Vincent Mason did.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah, she took to social media the next day. Just like, hey, and she was kind of laughing about it, like, my bad, man. I'm not sure how I screwed that up, but I did. But the worst part is the crowd cheered.
They didn't know.
Yeah, they're like,
Now, if she would have said the wrong city, that's embarrassing.
who did we see most recently that did that?
Oh, God.
I want to say it was somewhat like they were in Pittsburgh when they said Philly, or they're in Philly and said Pittsburgh. But either way, it was just, because the crowd's cheering after some song. They're like, thank you, Philly. And it just took them about 5 seconds to figure it out. And they're like, oh, crap. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Sorry, man. Yeah, my bad.
I know. I used to think, how could you be that dumb? And then you realize when you talk to bands how much they tour and
Oh,
stuff
dude.
like. That's why they write it on tape in front of the stage.
I don't even know what town I'm in.
Yeah, you wake up, you play a show. Yeah, that's it. So thank you, Philly. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola. All right, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This now. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category is a seriously on profile. This a dispute over fast food led to a shooting with a customer and a worker at Checkers. Was it the worker who shot the customer?
It was the worker. He was working the drive-thru, climbed through the drive-thru window, walked around the front of the store, got in the argument, and shot the guy.
So, what was the reason for this? Was it the fact that you did not? The guy didn't get extra mayonnaise, no cheese on his hamburger? Was he one wing short? Or forgotten French fries?
And Justin, that is the question that we posed to you. But before we get to the answer, happy birthday, man.
Hey, thank you. This has been my good little treat there.
What are you doing later?
I'm actually headed home. My wife picked up some cookies, and then my parents are bringing over Little Caesars. So,
oh,
nice.
Okay. All right, happy birthday.
Yeah, sounds like a good day.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, they, when I did lunch, they brought back that stuffed pretzel crust. So I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, bro, I wish you'd invited me over. All right, so let's see here. D. Smith, you went with wings.
Wings.
Whoops. And look, I understand. I'm right there with you. That would piss me off. I don't believe I would kill a man, but certainly I would be angry.
Wouldn't.
But Ted would.
Yeah.
And then, Justin, you agreed with Miles Montgomery. Both of you said fries, because let's face it, between fries and wings, those are the ones that are going to set you off.
No.
Believe it or not, it was mayonnaise, brother.
Mayonnaise?
It was
You got
freaking mayonnaise. And it's funny, someone on the text line says, I'm going to have to say extra mayonnaise, because if you hate that stuff and they put extra on there, it's worse than... it's worse than a skin shot.
Jesus. Okay.
So it was too much mayonnaise.
I guess. It just said extra mayo.
Now, for all TV news all time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now,
because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Armageddon. There it is. Yeah. Slow in the Armageddon there.
Oh, sorry, wheel spinner.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when I laid on the wheel, but, you know.
You want Armageddon, Ted?
Yeah.
You want Armageddon.
I want the world to burn. All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmys.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Stephen Colbert. Thomason.
Taylor.
Seth Meyers. Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. These guys have talented teams of writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine. Is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The Department of Highway Safety in Florida is making Margaritaville-themed license plate. Look for them at a DUI checkpoint near you.
Oh, come on, Ted. That's got to be you. Fallon.
Myers.
The Department of Florida Highway Safety recently announced they will make Margaritaville-themed specialty license plates. Look for them at a DUI checkpoint near you.
The Colorado Rockies are now the third fastest team to reach 50 losses in an MLB season, making them the worst team in the last 125 years. In response, the team has announced that at future games, they're replacing Take Me Out to the Ball Game with Take Me Out Behind the Shed and Kill Me.
Colbert.
Colorado Rockies became the third fastest team to reach 50 losses in an MLB history, making them the worst team in the last 125 years. In response, the team has announced that at future games, they're changing Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out Behind the Shed and Kill Me.
In TikTok news, there's a new term going viral. It's called water-based cooking. It's basically just things being boiled, steamed, or cooked as soups or stews. Now, who wants to tell Gen Z about this being the oldest way to cook?
The Ted Smith, yes.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I saw it. Water-based cooking, like boil.
Yeah, like I said, wait. I didn't left this part out.
We're going to call it a poached egg.
Wait till they discover grilling.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Well, I was going to say wait till they discover a crock pot, but I like my crock pot so much, I figured that would have tipped you off.
Just say sous vide.
Right. Would you eat sous vide bacon?
No.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just
you flash it at the end.
Because there are certain ways to do things right, and bacon's not. Bacon's one that you don't.
I might have
you
to
don't
try
deviate
that.
from.
I don't know, dude. I've yet to have anything sous vide that has not been better.
The juice will stay in the bag for the bacon, so the bacon's really going to cook in its own grease.
I'm skeptical.
Then you just flash the top.
I'm skeptical.
I'm going to sous vide you, Mike.
All right.
A 2-year-old at the Newark airport was rescued after riding the baggage conveyor belt from ticketing desk to the baggage room. Even more terrifying, the toddler was air traffic controller.
Fallon.
That's Fallon.
Hey guys, read about a 2-year-old at Newark Airport who was rescued after riding on the baggage conveyor belt from the ticketing desk to the baggage room. Even more terrifying, the toddler was their air traffic controller. That's terrible.
Since the pandemic, the vaccination rates for measles, mumps, and rubella are down. Fewer people are getting them for themselves and for the kids. Turns out the only thing we learned from COVID was how to make sourdough bread.
Colbert.
Seth.
Kimmel.
Since the pandemic, vaccination rates for measles, mumps, and rubella are waning. Fewer people are getting them for themselves and for their kids. Turns out the only thing we learned from COVID is how to make sourdough bread. But
this is kind of a funny one. So everybody knows June is Pride Month.
Mm-hmm.
Now I turned into a whole giant thing, right? I don't care. Like what I keep saying this month. Like my whiskey straight, my friends can be whatever. But try it this weekend at Pride.
Okay.
Mike, you're going to be there with me. I think
got the T-shirt.
It's going to crush in that beer garden.
I'm ready for it.
So Ron Swanson from Parks and Recs, Nick Offerman's character, right? Man's man. But on Sunday, somebody basically posted a GIF that was like, it's that character throwing out trash, but it's got a pride flag on it.
Okay.
Like,
So they put the pride flag where the trash was.
right. It's like, this is how I feel about Pride Month.
All right.
So I like Nick Offerman just came over the top. He quote tweeted it and said, Ron was the best man at a gay wedding, you dumb F. Happy Pride. Which I'm just like,
okay.
All right. It's kind of putting it to bed right there. It's like, yeah, man.
Come on.
And look, like I said, I like it because that character is a man's man, right?
Oh, yeah.
Works with his hands, drink whiskey.
Loves leather.
Yeah. I mean, look, I make fun of my one buddy. He drinks vodka sodas all the time. And I always go, what are you, a white woman on a diet?
I can guess who you're talking about.
Yeah, of course. All right. Got a new show for you.
All right.
Started last night, Mobland.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, like a good mob show, they talk a lot like this.
Why does every mobster only talk here? Allergies.
I don't know. And it's English.
Oh. But they still do the mob whisper?
They're still doing the mob whisper. Pretty good show. Tom Hardy is like the fixer for like one of the crime families, right?
I've seen the commercials, yeah. I love Tom Hardy.
I almost tweeted this out last night. Like, do you think he ever gets tired of being like a badass?
No, because he does it too well, man.
He's too lax with being a badass. He just falls into it right.
I never really knew who he was, and then the movie Inception came out, right? And he has more or less of a bit role in it, but every time they went to his character, I'm like, I like this guy, right? Somehow kind of a bad. A lot of other stuff's going on, but I like this dude. Then he showed up as Bane, and I'm like, I really like this dude. It's just Mad Max.
This is my Venom guy, right?
Venom dude.
Okay, the one I liked and no one else did.
I still haven't seen it yet. You said, dude, get stoned.
But did you ever see the movie about bootlegging with Shia LaBeouf?
I know what you're because they were brothers in the movie.
Correct.
Right? I never saw the movie, but I heard
it's a really and
didn't he like direct it? Shia LaBeouf.
I was gonna say it's weird. It's a Shia LaBeouf movie, and I'm not a biggest fan of his, but it's a really good movie. And Tom Hardy again plays a badass. I'm pretty sure Tom Hardy also is a competitive jiu-jitsu guy. Like, I don't know that he has his black belt.
He might be. Some of his moves, like some people you can tell, like learn the moves for a role. He's very fluid with his moves when he's being a badass.
Correct. Even in Peaky Blinders, he shows up as like this Jewish guy that makes liquor and stuff because it's prohibition, and he's a badass in that. I'm just like, I think he might just be like I could be wrong, but
we should interview. I mean, look, we just have one question. Right? Oh, are you actually just a badass?
Because he's doing jiu-jitsu. Like
he says he won a number of competitions. He's an avid practitioner of Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Correct. All right.
Of course. He also said he spent most of his youth drinking alcohol and smoking crack cocaine.
Right, but he's sober now and just trains and stuff. Like, I think Tom Hardy might just be a badass dude.
Sounds that way. I like him, man.
Won a number of jiu-jitsu competitions, it says.
More like Tom Hardass.
So, now here's the crazy thing, right? There's a lot of big actors in this, right? Helen Mirren's in it. But Pierce Brosnan.
Right.
Okay.
Right? I mean, you know him from a bunch of stuff. I mean, he's James Bond.
He's 007, yeah.
He's Remington Steele.
Look, he's the guy that your mom loves.
Remington Steele is how I remember him.
That's what, because my mother almost slid off the couch first time that show came
He was
on.
Sally Field's love interest in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, God, that's right. Yeah. Is there anything this man can't do?
What can he not do?
So he generally, though, to me, plays kind of a cool character, right?
He's always suave.
He plays an awesome badass in this one. I'm
really?
only one episode in, like, I'll just tell you, the end of episode 1, I was like, God damn, Pierce. Like, all right. Like, I just didn't see it going that way. And it's just like, it's awesome.
Okay.
Also, if you're like me and you like some of those English shows or whatever, if you've seen Top Boy, there's a couple actors that were in that show up in this.
Right.
So I don't know why I get so excited. I'm like, oh, know her. But very good show. Like, good crime stuff. This won't shock you. The son of the crime boss is an idiot. Getting them into trouble and this and that, but
doing drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there ever a smart, sober mob boss son, as far as it goes in TVs and movies?
Yes,
Al Pacino.
Right.
Good call. All right. Yeah.
Like like Sonny was more the hothead.
Yes.
Right, but
where that guy?
What is Michael? Right, Michael's kind of the level-headed one. Whatever. So, like, you're right. The Godfather is one of those exceptions where it's like, oh no, he's actually like,
I wanted you to be a senator.
Dad, I can't understand what you're saying.
You're taking it very
right on my
personal.
jaw.
Where's the show out there, Ted?
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Okay.
Not Paramount Negative and not just Paramount Equal. Right? And if you have those streaming services, you're getting screwed.
Give them credit. They kept the name.
That's right.
They haven't changed it yet.
Paramount Light.
Correct, but Paramount, right? Because there is the Paramount Channel, there's Paramount Plus.
Didn't they spin off from NBC though? I believe Paramount.
I'll tell you this much: they keep
CBS.
changing. Well, now it's with you have
Peacock is
Showtime.
NBC, right.
Somehow that's connected in.
Yes.
I know on my cable somehow that's connected in, and then Paramount Plus also. If you watch international soccer, you got to have that sometimes.
Maybe it's Show Peacock
to watch the USA team, right? But then Peacock's its own thing. Like there's so many of them anymore. It's very hard to keep track.
It really is.
Quick update for me and maybe somebody listening to us who was born in India. Just want to give a big shout out to
very specific
Kings 11 Punjab. They made it to the final this year. They did not win. That's my Indian Premier League cricket team.
Why did you pick them? How many teams are in this league?
I believe there's 8 teams.
All right.
You know why I picked them?
No.
Because again, Netflix years ago, they only did one season on the Mumbai Indians, which are part of that league. And I was like, cricket. All right. And then one night, I think I had a few beverages. It was like, I was trying to find a sport to watch, and I was like, cricket's on. And I was like, sure, I'll get the channel. So then I just started watching it. And then at the time, they had a guy, it's so wild to say this because nobody knows, a man named Chris Gale.
Okay.
Chris Gale is Jamaican, so the West Indies play as a team. He is a beast. He's a universe boss. And he played on that team. He's a monster of a man and would just crush the ball. So I liked him. Cal Raul was he was the captain of the Indian team. So I basically started watching this team, frankly, as they just hit the ball so hard it reminded me of baseball.
Okay.
But they always sucked. And the league's full of corruption and this and that. But that was the first time they've made it to the final, so I was pretty proud.
All right. Okay.
Also, if you buy anything, if you ever buy a cricket jersey, go a size up.
Oh,
there.
They get a little tight
size up.
Oh, Christ.
Same with the soccer jersey.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
man.
dead serious, man.
Well, European size, do what you want with this information, but European sizes are just different than American sizes.
Yes, they are.
They're a little tighter.
And then I won't name certain stores, but there is some massive stores in the United States where I have been, and they clearly fudge with their sizes.
Ooh.
Because I was swimming in a large. I do not wear a large T-shirt. Right? I was like, come on. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. But I guess it makes you feel better. So that's how I found that team. And it's interesting. And it's fun to have talks with Englishmen. Let's see. 5th and final season of Stranger Things will roll out in 3 parts. Basically around Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve.
I saw that. And I'm sorry. Look, I dropped off of Stranger Things after season 1. Not that I wasn't interested in the others. It just it doesn't interest me enough to go after them.
Fair.
But then when I saw this rollout where we're going to give you a little bit of this part and then the next month a little bit over here, that just release the damn season. Are we really here right now?
Yeah, put it out.
Right.
Disney Plus does that.
They do.
Like,
and
here's 3 of Andor, here's
Right.
3 more, here's 3 more.
And that's the thing. It's 3 episodes. Quit acting like you're doing this huge thing that you're stretching out over this long. You don't have to stretch it out over this long period. Unless you're trying to get
Honestly,
numbers.
the way I see this working, though, right? You're stretching it out over, the Thanksgiving holiday, then the Christmas holiday, the New Year's Eve. That time is just so busy. And then in America, most of us are going to be watching football.
I was going to say, doing
to me,
other things.
this just says, hey, Netflix, I'll watch that when I have one of those days off in between Christmas and New Year.
And not to mention, you've got Christmas movies that are coming out, which love them or hate them. You're going to end up watching a handful of them. You've got Christmas specials that are coming out. Like I said, you've got football. You've got a handful of other sports that are going on at that time. There's too much competition for a spooky show. Put it all out in Halloween. Call it good.
Right.
I agree 100%.
I don't get it. I really don't. Because they can't compete with it is my whole thing.
Happy Gilmore 2 trailer came out. Does anybody watch it yet? I watched the trailer.
Yep.
I will watch the movie.
You know you will.
I have a bad feeling it's not going to be that good.
I'm not very confident, no.
I'm not
we're
either.
all going to watch it anyway.
And there's a ton of guest appearances. I get it.
But you really need to know golf to get those.
Oh, really?
So you
They're
can't just
pulling
be
that
a
out.
casual, happy
So I
Gilmore
won't
guy.
know who half these people are.
Correct.
They got like
You'll never know
Rory
they could-
McIlroy coming out.
Bryson DeChambeau's your waiter or whatever. You will not know that unless you know who that guy is.
You won't, but I think enough people liked Happy Gilmore. Like Lee Trevino just shaking his head at him on one of those holes. Like me and you noticed that. Most people didn't, but I think they still like the movie.
Yeah.
This one, Miles might be right, though. It's just a lot of cameos. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they did a promo with Cookie Monster. They got a new drama coming out called
My God.
called The Rip. And then, let's see, tonight. Oh, tonight. All right. By the way, Mike Hawk, stop going to the games when the Mariners play the Orioles.
Thank you.
No, it's great.
Stanley Cup finals start tonight. You can cheer for whoever you want to. I'm going for the Panthers.
USA.
They got Kachuk.
USA.
Yeah, come on. Let's keep that cup in the States.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. North Carolina authorities are called after a motorist sees a dinosaur on the road. Meanwhile, a couple cancels their wedding because of a tornado, so they take it inside in their tiny abode. Brit books a vacation to Greece, shocked to find they don't serve English food. A high school prank ends with 3 kids in Enumclaw. They all got screwed. And a Texas man calls the cops to ask if they can pick up his cocaine. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Our top story, we go to Greece, where their hospitality is keeping tourism at bay. A woman... Oops, Daisy.
Oh.
A little low on that one.
There you go.
A woman on vacation from England was left upset by her experience at her hotel. She tells the media that she was upset because they didn't serve English food at the hotel.
She was in Greece.
She's in Greece.
She intentionally booked a trip to Greece.
To Greece.
Understood that she was in Greece.
She's in Greece.
And was stunned.
No English food.
There's no English. Look, lady, I got news for you. Outside of England, kind of hard to find English food because it's garbage.
You can't find English food in England.
Right. They eat Indian food.
Right.
There
In
are
all
fish and
fairness,
chips and Indian food.
I did read the story. The woman, the reviews on that place are awful.
Correct.
So there's a ton of people, like the last 5 reviews are like, I cannot believe this place is open.
Right. The food conditions were not all that good.
This is horrible.
Broken toilet seats. So the woman the 69-year-old woman suffered from ulcerative colitis, a condition that restricts her diet, leaving her unable to eat a lot of the foods that they offered at the Greek hotel, which she said also was horrendous. The food itself was just bad, she said. She also complained about the high cost of the things inside of the hotel and also the limited drink choices of wine, lager, or brandy, leaving her unable to enjoy a Bacardi and Coke like she so often does.
Go somewhere else.
Go to a bar.
Jesus Christ, man.
And as Miles said, this is not the first time that the hotel has been criticized about the condition of their food in the hotel rooms, though the hotel is in contact with the woman to work out a resolution. Yeah, you're in Greece. They like their wine. They're actually very good at it out there.
Right.
Not so much for the liquors. Again, I'm sure you could probably find a bar somewhere. Somewhere out there, there's hard liquor.
The other thing is, if it's that important to you that you eat and or drink the things you're used to, then don't go on vacation.
Correct.
At least not in a different country.
You're immersing yourself in a different culture.
Right.
Greece, by the way, I would love to go there and eat.
Hell yeah, I'm with you. That'd be awesome. No?
I like gyros a lot, but like traditional Greek cuisine, I'm just not a fan, man.
Okay.
For the most part. Like it would suck for me. But I would not be stunned that in Greece I'm surrounded by Greek food. I am that smart.
I feel like if you went to Greece, you would surprise yourself at how much you like.
Maybe. I don't. You know what? It has to have lamb.
Yeah.
If it is lamb, I'll give it a shot.
They got great chicken, too.
Do it.
Oh, yeah. They're good at chicken. They are good at chicken. In other news, to Kentucky, where a man's dumb decisions got worse as time went on. Over Memorial Day weekend, the man was the subject of a call to police after he had made some quote-unquote alarming statements to an employee of the business that he had driven to while intoxicated.
Oh.
Officers arrived on the scene and arrested him for DUI, booking him into the local jail and impounding his car. Fast forward a couple days after he had bonded himself out of jail, he made his way to the impound lot to get some personal items out of his car. The sheriff went to the car and got the items from his trunk, but couldn't help but notice a little something extra in the trunk. Some cocaine that he clearly had stashed for a later date.
It's probably what he wanted.
That's exactly
Get
what
my
he wanted.
backpack.
That's right. With this discovery, the man was arrested for the second time in a single weekend.
Damn, man.
Miles, I thought the exact same thing. Oh, we found cocaine. It's like, that's what he was looking for.
Also, you're from
That's
Texas.
exactly what he was calling
You're from
about.
Texas. You know better.
You know better?
'Cause everything is illegal there. You can have a seed in your car and go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're in Kentucky. You can have a seed in your car and go to jail.
Right.
This is cocaine. That's a step up in the drug scale.
Yeah, like Austin has decriminalized weed, but like I'm with Texas, you still don't want to mess around.
Nope.
And Kentucky, I feel like, is even more locked down. Like, they don't screw around in Kentucky. So,
No, they really don't, man.
Good work there, buddy. Good work. But just when you thought that I was done talking about dumb decisions, we go no further than a small little town in South King County, Enumclaw, Washington.
Uh-oh.
Doggone it, guys.
Is this your high school?
This is my high school.
All right.
Police got a call about a break-in at my alma mater. They arrived in time to see 3 kids fleeing the school and checked security footage, finding something alarming. The 3 walked about the halls of the school in a manner that concerned authorities that it may be a quote-unquote dry run, suggesting that the trio had nefarious plans to commit a shooting at some point in the future. They were casing the place, trying to figure out the best course of action and all that. Local authorities and media blew the story up to the point that one of the 3 involved came forward to reveal there was no plot for an active shooter situation. 2 of the young men involved were students at the school, the third being a relative up from California, and they were scouting the school for the best way to execute a senior prank in which they would be filling the lunchroom with balloons. You see, they were also trying to find the easiest way to get in and out of the school to load up the lunchroom full of balloons.
I think the kid made the right decision because I saw the story a couple of days ago.
Absolutely, he did.
And at this point, no one had come forward. They just said, here's chilling video, right? And my wife and I looked at each other like, Jesus Christ, man. They looked exactly what everyone said. Looks like the case in the joint. And they mentioned on the news, so the FBI has already gotten involved. And then the next day is when I heard the kids like, whoa, hey, guys, look, man, no. We know it was stupid, but it was a prank.
After coming forward and complying with authorities, the 3 were booked on various charges. I really, really hope. Look, I understand these kids did something stupid. I really hope that they just hit him with like a trespassing charge and let the fear of what is come down on them.
I think that's all you need because the
lesson.
fear of the FBI thinking you're a domestic terrorist is
Right.
common. I mean, that's why they came forward. Like, oh, Jesus.
Do the investigation, do your due diligence to make sure that this actually is a prank, that there is nothing bigger going on, but then let that be the punishment.
That's where we are. I mean, they got to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I mean, if
absolutely
they
do.
didn't, they're not doing their job.
That's right. That's right. See something, say something. Exactly. But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully, there's good news.
we go to St. Louis, Missouri, where a positive was found in a negative situation. A couple was set to get married in a very unique place, the local zoo, using the hippo exhibit as the backdrop to their ceremony.
Sexy.
Unfortunately, a tornado was set to tear through the area on their wedding day, and did, forcing the zoo to close and cancel their wedding plans. But not wanting all that preparation to go to waste because you spent all that frickin' time putting it together, I can feel that, dude. They instead chose to get married in their powerless apartment surrounded by, quote, families and a whole lot of Chinese food. What's more is the zoo wanted to do their part to make their day special and gave them a symbolic hippo adoption and stage a meet and greet with some of the animals that were supposed to be involved in their wedding. It was going to be this big old grand to-do. There were going to be animals involved. They were going to have the hippos back there because they love the hippos, and all this stuff gets shut down. They actually hold the ceremony in their apartment that is without power now because a damn tornado tore the place up. So, gotta love when they find a little bit of a good there.
I thought you were going to say the tornado hit the zoo and like 100 animals escaped. Uh-oh.
Well, apparently it did hit the zoo.
Oh, really?
The tornado did hit the zoo.
Yeah, just a little bit north of the zoo. Yeah, it tore through there, man. Men's Room Sports. The Mariners hosted the annual Hill Hawk outing once again this year. Don't clap. As the Baltimore Orioles, with a current .390 win percentage, came into town to take on the leaders of the AL West. Not anymore. The 542 win percentage Seattle Mariners for a 3-game series. who, for whatever reason, were just no match for the damn Oriole Bats last night.
Wow.
Losing the game 5-1 and subjecting myself to another year of ridicule. This is going to be fun. Game 2 of that series is tonight over on Root, and you've also got Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final over on TNT and True TV. As far as your weather, a little bit of cloud cover there, going to bring temperatures down to the mid-50s tonight, and then tomorrow we're looking at partly cloudy skies and a high of 75. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thanks, so we appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy and the Head Chef's back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Lovely Jolene is coming up next.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.